Chapter 1320. This is, the light seal. Ling Xiao was slightly surprised. He did not expect Li Hu to have cultivated the light seal, one of the 9 ultimate techniques. Moreover, he used the indestructible combat body to activate the light seal. Rumble. Li Hu held the light seal in his hand, and the pure light around him was dazzling. It was as if he was holding a sacred mountain, and he suddenly pressed it down on Ling Xiao. Good timing. Ling Xiao's eyes also revealed a strong desire to fight. Evil qi spread out from his body, and his body was sparkling and translucent. However, his palm had become as black as ink, as if there was an endless amount of evil qi flowing in it. A palm knife cut across the void, containing a blazing killing intent. It was as if it wanted to send countless living beings to hell. The first move of the 7 forms of adjudication. At this moment, Ling Xiao finally used it. It's the 7 forms of adjudication. Ha ha ha. Interesting. Junior brother Long, you've just entered the academy. This is a great opportunity. Li Hu's eyes lit up, and he could not help but exclaim. The 9 ultimate techniques of the War God Temple required 10,000 contribution points to exchange for. They were incomparably precious. He had spent decades to accumulate enough contribution points. He did not expect Long Outyen to obtain 2 ultimate techniques after entering the academy for just over a month. Most importantly, although Ling Xiao's 7 forms of adjudication was just a beginner, he already had the intent to judge all living beings and carry out heavenly punishment. Rumble. The dazzling blade light contained endless darkness, as if it had shrouded the entire space. But then, a dazzling light tore through the darkness, as if it was an eternal sun, and exploded. Ling Xiao did not hold back this time, and he clashed with Li Hu with all his might. Li Hu's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. Although he had broken the first move of adjudication with 1 punch, he was sent flying by Ling Xiao. The 2 of them were sent flying at the same time. It could be said that they were evenly matched. One should know that Ling Xiao had just broken through to the 3rd level of the indestructible combat body, and his limbs had not been tempered yet. However, Li Hu had already tempered his limbs and reached the 4 extremities realm. Furthermore, he had a powerful bloodline and an unparalleled physical body. How could he not gain the upper hand? Could it be that Long Outyen also had a special bloodline or constitution? Again. Li Hu's face was filled with unwillingness to admit defeat. Blood qi rose from his body, and he used the light seal to attack Ling Xiao. He was shrouded in light, like a Buddha. He looked mysterious and unfathomable. Ling Xiao's indestructible combat body and the 7 forms of adjudication, and continued to fight with Li Hu. Ling Xiao could feel that Li Hu's strength was indeed very strong, far stronger than Chu Yunfei's. Under this pressure, Ling Xiao's comprehension of the undying war body and the 7 styles of judgment improved by leaps and bounds. Even the speed at which he swallowed the divine liquid increased a lot. The spectators were all dumbfounded. They originally thought that Long Outyen would not be able to last long in Li Hu's hands and would be beaten into a pulp. However, they did not expect Long Outyen to not only hold on for so long, he even broke through in the middle of the battle. Just entered the academy, a mere middle-stage true god cultivation actually has such powerful combat strength? Even if his body had become a god, his battle prowess couldn't possibly be so terrifying, right? Li Hu is said to be someone no one dares to offend in the school. Looks like Long Outyen's name is going to spread throughout the entire academy soon. His talent is too terrifying. Many senior disciples sighed and finally started to take this new junior brother seriously. Ling Xiao and Li Hu's battle had completely stunned them. Boom! Ling Xiao and Li Hu collided fiercely, and Ling Xiao was sent flying again. Fortunately, this was the god of war pagoda. If they were in the outside world, who knew how many mountains would have been destroyed by them? Suddenly, Ling Xiao's great void token lit up. Ling Xiao was slightly stunned. Then, he said with a strange expression, "My time to cultivate in the god of war pagoda is up." Ling Xiao agreed to 2 hours, so when the time was up, the Great Void token would naturally remind him. If he did not go out, he would probably be forcefully teleported out. Li Hu was also a little dumbfounded. He scratched his head and looked at Ling Xiao. Junior brother Long, the battle with you today was very satisfying. I'm going into seclusion soon. When I break through to the mid-stage of the Heavenly God realm and break through to the 4th level of the indestructible combat body, I'll look for you again. Senior brother, I'll wait for you. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Then, he turned and left the God of War pagoda. As for Li Hu, he was directly taken away by the disciples of the discipline hall. He did not resist and had an indifferent look on his face. After all, he was already a regular of the discipline hall. At worst, he would be beaten up and grounded for a few days. He could use this time to cultivate. He had also gained a lot from the battle with Ling Xiao today. The Xian Wang also successfully broke through to the early stage of the Heavenly God realm under the 5th level's gravity. He also left the God of War pagoda with Ling Xiao. Yi Liangqin and Feng Ye also broke through to the early stage of the True God realm. Yin Tiansong broke through to the perfected True God realm. Overall, they had gained a lot from entering the God of War pagoda this time. Big brother, you actually fought with that guy Li Hu? I think I missed a good show. Yi Liangqin's eyes lit up when he heard the Xian Wang describe the battle between Ling Xiao and Li Hu. That's right. Senior brother Long, I also heard that the hothead Li Hu's physical body is unparalleled. He is simply a beast. He even dared to attack the dean. If you can fight to a draw with him, I'm afraid those senior disciples won't dare to provoke you in the future. Yin Tiansong looked at Ling Xiao with eyes full of admiration. This time, Lu Yan and Lu Wenqing went for wool and came home shorn. They gave Li Hu 2 drops of the sacred liquid to teach me a lesson. In the end, Li Hu helped me break through to the next level. However, these 2 fellows are haunting me. They are full of evil tricks. I will teach them a lesson sooner or later. Ling Xiao said with a cold smile. Senior brother Long, you still have to be careful. Lu Yan's grandfather is the deputy hall master, Lu Fang. Lu Wenqing's brother is the Xian Hai King, Lu Wu. These 2 people are not to be trifled with. Although the Xian Wang knew that Ling Xiao was powerful, he still warned him. If people don't offend me, I won't offend them. If people offend me, I will return the favor 100 times over. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. Then, he looked at Yi Liangqin and the others and said, have you all experienced the benefits of the God of War pagoda? There is also the deity's lake and the martial repository. If we want to become stronger in Ares College, we have to earn more contribution points. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to move forward. Yi Liangqin nodded and said, that's right. This God of War pagoda is really a good place. If we can keep cultivating here, I'm afraid our cultivation will improve by leaps and bounds. Big brother, do you have any good ideas? Everyone looked at Ling Xiao, their eyes filled with anticipation. After coming out of the God of War pagoda, they felt the thin divine qi outside. They almost wanted to cultivate in the God of War pagoda forever. Chapter 1321. Let's go to the divine devil space and kill demons to exchange for contribution points. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, his eyes revealing a strong desire to battle. Divine devil space. Everyone's eyes lit up when they heard about the divine devil space. The divine devil space was a gap between the God realm and the devil realm. However, due to the restrictions of the laws of the 2 realms, Saint Realm experts were unable to enter the divine devil space. The strongest person in the divine devil space was only a God King expert. The divine devil space was extremely vast, and there was an extremely chaotic God spirit qi and devil spirit qi. There were also many ferocious demons. Ares College had a teleportation array that led to the divine devil space. It could also be said that many colleges in the God realm had such teleportation arrays and used the divine devil space as a training ground for their disciples. Killing demons in the devil spirit realm could earn 1 contribution point, killing demons in the true demon realm could earn 10 contribution points, killing demons in the devil realm could earn 100 contribution points, and killing a demon god king could earn 10,000 contribution points. In addition, there were all kinds of treasures in the divine devil space that could be exchanged for contribution points. In ancient times, the divine devil space was also a battlefield between the god realm and the devil realm. Therefore, there were many inheritances of strong experts. There was no lack of lucky people who obtained the inheritances of strong experts and became the strongest of their generation. However, the divine devil space was also very dangerous. Humans would enter to hunt demons, but there would also be powerful demons who specialized in hunting human geniuses. There were even some scum of the human race who were willing to side with the demons. They were even more vicious. However, along with the danger, there were also huge benefits. If they could kill a demon god king, they would immediately be able to earn 10,000 contribution points in exchange for an absolute art from the Martial Depository Tower. Okay. Let's go to the divine devil space. Yu Yangchen said excitedly. He had long wanted to experience the divine devil space. Now that Ling Xiao and King Xian were leading the team, they had some ability to protect themselves. As long as they did not encounter a demon god king, even if it was a demon god realm demon, they could escape unscathed. We will rest for 3 days. You guys stabilize your cultivation. After 3 days, we will go to the divine devil space. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Naturally, no one had any objections. They all returned to Ling Xiao Pavilion and began to prepare for the trip to the divine devil space in 3 days. Ling Xiao went to the treasure hall to exchange for some treasures that could be used in the divine devil space. What? Not only did Li Hu not teach Long Outyan a lesson, but he even helped Long Outyan achieve a breakthrough. This bastard, I won't let him off. When Lu Wenqing heard about the results of the battle between Ling Xiao and Li Hu, his eyes were filled with disbelief and anger. He took out 2 drops of holy liquid and asked Li Hu to teach Long Outyan a lesson. However, after waiting for a long time, he heard that Ling Xiao's indestructible battle body had broken through to the quadruple extremities realm during his battle with Li Hu. While he was shocked, he was also filled with anger towards the hothead Li Hu. Bastard! This guy dared to swallow our holy liquid, he's simply courting death. When he comes out of the discipline hall, I must find someone to teach him a lesson. Lu Yan was also incomparably angry. This hothead Li Hu was too shameless. He took the holy liquid but did not do anything, making them gnash their teeth in hatred. My big brother is about to come out of seclusion. At that time, I will not let Li Hu and Long Outyan off. Lu Wenqing gritted his teeth, and a trace of killing intent appeared in his eyes. He had to snatch back the Black Tortoise Sage's inheritance from Long Outyan as soon as possible. He felt a sense of urgency in his heart. Long Outyan's growth was too fast. If he was allowed to grow at this rate, when he completely digested the Black Tortoise Sage's inheritance, it would be difficult to stop him. The treasure hall was the place where Ares College traded all kinds of treasures. Here, as long as one had enough contribution points, one could exchange for all kinds of treasures, even powerful holy treasures. One could also use all kinds of treasures to exchange for contribution points. The treasure hall was one of the 2 most bustling places in Ares College. The other place was the mission hall, where one could also obtain contribution points by completing the corresponding task. When Ling Xiao arrived at the treasure hall, he saw many disciples exchanging for treasures. All kinds of treasures dazzled him. Junior brother, are you looking to exchange for some treasures? I'm very happy to serve you. A young lady in a green dress walked towards Ling Xiao with a smile. She looked very delicate and pretty, and her cultivation level was at the great true God realm. Her entire body emitted a very pure aura. That's right. I'm preparing to go to the God and Devil space. Are there any treasures that I need? Recommend them. Ling Xiao said calmly. The girl in the green dress looked at Ling Xiao with some surprise. The God and Devil space was very dangerous. Usually, only the heavenly God realm disciples dared to enter it. This junior brother seemed to only be at the middle true God realm. He must be a new disciple. Could it be that he was with a senior brother? She thought to herself, but her face was still full of smiles. Okay, junior brother. The most important things to go to the God and Devil space are the spirit cleansing pills and divine escape talismans. In the God and Devil space, the chi of the gods and devils is very dense, so it can't replenish the chi of the gods and devils. Once the chi of the gods and devils enters the body, it will be very troublesome. You must use the spirit cleansing pills to remove it. The divine escape talisman can quickly teleport you back to the ancient city if you meet an unstoppable enemy. Spirit cleansing pills and divine escape talismans? Can I take a look at them? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he asked calmly. Okay. Junior brother, these are the spirit cleansing pills and divine escape talismans. The spirit cleansing pills are 10 contribution points each. The divine escape talismans are more expensive, 100 contribution points each. The girl in the green dress took out a jade bottle and a jade box. She opened them and presented them to Ling Xiao. The spirit cleansing pills shone with a green light. The markings on the pills were uniform, and the aura was pure. They emitted a faint fragrance. The divine escape talisman was a silver talisman paper. There were mysterious lines drawn on it, and it emitted a spatial fluctuation. Ling Xiao nodded. The spirit cleansing pills were high-grade divine pills. They were sufficient for experts below the divine king realm. They could indeed dissolve the chi of the gods and devils. However, Ling Xiao did not need them. The sky-devouring secret skill could devour everything. Any kind of energy was nothing to him. However, Xian Wang and Yu Yangchen still needed to buy some. Okay. Give me 10 spirit cleansing pills and 5 divine escape talismans. Ling Xiao said calmly. He then handed over his God of War token. Chapter 1322. Long Outyan. Junior. It's you. 10 spirit cleansing pills for 100 contribution points, 5 divine escape talismans for 500 contribution points, a total of 600 contribution points. The girl in the green dress saw Ling Xiao's name on the Aries token and was shocked. Her eyes were filled with curiosity. In the past few days, the news of Long Outyan, the champion of the Great Void Trial, defeating Chu Yunfei had spread throughout Aries College. Many people knew about Long Outyan. The girl in the green dress obviously knew about it too. She saw that Ling Xiao was only in the middle true god realm, just as the rumors said. She was shocked. Junior Long, the divine escape talisman can only teleport you within 100,000 miles of the ancient city. If you exceed 100,000 miles, the divine escape talisman will be useless. There is also a divine escape talisman. As long as you are in the mythical space, no matter how far you are, you can teleport back to the ancient city instantly. However, the divine escape talisman is too expensive. It costs 10,000 contribution points, so I didn't tell you. The girl in the green dress thought for a while and said to Ling Xiao. 100,000 miles around the ancient city? Okay, thank you. In addition, I need some talisman paper and divine beast blood for drawing talismans. With these 400 contribution points, you can prepare the best talisman paper and divine beast blood for me. Ling Xiao nodded and said to the girl in the green dress. 10,000 contribution points could buy 100 divine escape talismans. It was indeed too precious. However, people would buy such life-saving items no matter how expensive they were. Ling Xiao couldn't afford it even if he wanted to. Junior Long, do you want to learn Talisman Dao? Okay. It just so happens that we've recently received the highest quality talisman papers. 1 contribution point for 1 talisman paper and 1 drop of scarlet flame bird's blood. How about I give junior brother Long 200 talisman papers and 200 drops of scarlet flame bird's blood? The girl in the green dress asked in surprise. However, she immediately introduced it to Ling Xiao. I want to give it a try. That's all. Thank you. Ling Xiao smiled and said. Although the Heart Saint knew the basics of the Great Void Talisman scripture, it contained the cultivation method of Heart Talisman. The so-called Heart Talisman was to draw talismans with the power of one's heart. Legend had it that the Heart Talisman drawn by the Great Void Emperor could upgrade holy treasures, increase the quality of supreme pills, and even summon the legendary 9 emperors to fight for him. Heart Talismans were the most dazzling existences in Emperor Taishu's era. Because a heart talisman didn't have to be drawn with talisman paper at all, and it utilized the energy of the heart to draw out the laws of the heavens and the earth and condense the energy of the Grand Tao, causing it to be unfathomably profound. However, Ling Xiao's Great Void Heart Charm scripture was only at the first level, and there wasn't much heart force condensed in the heart realm. It wasn't enough for him to draw talismans, so he had to buy some talisman paper and divine beast blood to practice. In the end, Ling Xiao returned to High Heaven Pavilion with 10 spiritual clarity pills, 5 divine escape talismans, and some divine beast blood. As soon as Ling Xiao left the treasure hall, a disciple who seemed to be exchanging treasures glanced at Ling Xiao's back before hurriedly leaving. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged in High Heaven Pavilion's secret room, cultivating while thinking about the treasures he would need to prepare to enter the divine space. The heaven-devouring sword can't be used anymore. The Xian Kun sword and Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet were both perfect saint treasures, but these 2 items were extremely important. Furthermore, with my current cultivation, I can only use the Xian Kun sword once. It can only be used as a life-saving trump card. Ling Xiao thought to himself. The heaven-devouring sword could easily expose his identity. The Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet was rumored to have a total of 81 pieces. After Ling Xiao came to the God world, he realized that the 9 pieces of Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet were all perfect saint treasures, even stronger than the Xian Kun sword. The Xian Kun sword and the 9 pieces of Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet had been nurturing and refining in Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. The speed of refining the Xian Kun sword was considered normal, but he could only use the surface of the Heavenly Tao Primal Chaos tablet. There was no way for him to completely refine it. Such a treasure could only be used as a last resort. However, the Xian Kun sword could be used. With Ling Xiao's current cultivation, if he used the Xian Kun sword, as long as the opponent wasn't on guard, he should be able to kill a God King expert. Those below the God King realm wouldn't be able to withstand a single blow from the Xian Kun sword. In this mythical space, in addition to killing experts of the demon clan to exchange for contribution points, the most important thing is to cultivate the indestructible war body and the 7 styles of adjudication. Only in a life and death battle can I comprehend these 2 unique skills faster. Ling Xiao had too many secrets on him, especially the inheritance of the Great Void Emperor. Hence, he had to minimize the risk of exposing them. If he could avoid using his own martial arts, he would try his best to use the martial arts of Ares College. This time, he had to obtain enough contribution points. After all, the holy liquid in the treasure hall cost 1,000 contribution points per drop. Ling Xiao's own cultivation and the opening of the Flowing Time Temple required a large amount of holy liquid. If Ling Xiao wanted to obtain first place in the generational competition 3 years later, and then enter the War God Temple as an invincible expert, he had to obtain a large amount of resources. Time was too tight. After Ling Xiao thought everything through, he began to cultivate. He had gained a lot from the battle with Li Hu. From Li Hu, he had seen the various uses of the indestructible war body. There were even areas that he hadn't noticed before. After perfecting it, his indestructible war body had become more complete. As long as he could find enough Xian Huang Qi in the godly demon space to refine his limbs and complete the cultivation of the 4 extremes, he would be able to break through quickly and reach the 4th level of the 5 Organs Deity Palace. The most important thing is that Jin Sei is about to wake up. Ling Xiao laughed bitterly. These days, Jin Sei's vitality had become stronger and stronger. According to his estimates, she would be completely awake in a few days. After this time, Jin Sei would probably not remember him at all. He had to find a way to let Jin Se enter the most supreme Tao palace to cultivate the most supreme Tao scripture and recover her previous memories. Thinking about how he would have to face an unfamiliar Jin Se, Ling Xiao felt a dull ache in his heart. No matter what, I have to face what I have to face. I have too much hope on my shoulders, so I have to have enough strength to protect it all. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of determination. The wordless heavenly book and the fortune jade plate were great opportunities, but also great karma and danger. Now that Ling Xiao had obtained all of this, he had to face all kinds of dangers and challenges that came with it. One could imagine that once Ling Xiao's identity was exposed, he would become the enemy of the entire world. The sages of the God world would come and tear him to pieces. 3 days later, Ling Xiao left the High Heaven Pavilion with Xian Wang, Yi Liangchen, Feng Ye, and Yin Tiansong. They arrived at the teleportation array that led to the godly demon space. After paying enough god stones, Ling Xiao and the others entered the godly demon space through the teleportation array. Chapter 1323. The ancient city was an ancient city that was jointly managed by the 5 great academies. Each of the 5 great academies had a divine king overseeing it all year round. The ancient city was engraved with a powerful array that was reinforced by the experts of the 5 great academies. It was unknown how many layers of killing and trapping arrays there were. Even if a saint came here, he would not be able to break through it. There were a total of 33 cities like the ancient city in the divine devil space, corresponding to the 33 heavens. The divine devil space was incomparably vast. It was the barrier between the divine world and the devil world. It was also the ancient battlefield of the great divine devil war. Both the divine world and the devil world attached great importance to it. It was said that the 33 ancient cities were engraved with a supreme emperor array. Experts of the saint realm and above could not enter at all. They would be killed by the power of the array. This place had also become the training ground for many geniuses. They fought the devil race here and sharpened their cultivation. However, there were also some experts of the devil race who specialized in hunting human geniuses. They had been fighting for so many years. When Ling Xiao and the others opened their eyes, they had already arrived at the ancient city. The teleportation array of the ancient city was located at the center. There were 4 bluestone roads that led to the 4 gates of the city. This ancient city is so lively, Yi Liangchen said in surprise. There were many experts in the ancient city. Looking around, they were at least in the divine spirit realm. True God realm and heavenly God realm experts could be seen everywhere. On both sides of the street, there were many shops, inns, restaurants, markets, and stalls. Everything could be seen everywhere. The diamond horn of the Horn Demon clan is a supreme treasure for refining divine king weapons. You only need a drop of saint liquid to take it away. A beauty of the Rabbit Demon clan. Whether you take her back to cultivate or as a servant, she is an excellent choice. Only 2 drops of saint liquid. Red flame magic stone on sale. Only 1,000 divine crystals. 10,000 years red fruit. You can take it home for 5,000 divine crystals. On both sides of the street, the experts who temporarily set up their territories were shouting with all their might to attract customers. In the ancient city, the main cities had teleportation arrays that led to the divine devil space. As long as you paid enough divine stones or divine crystals, anyone could enter the divine devil space to explore and hunt the devil race. The various heavenly treasures they obtained, and even the specialties of the devil realm, would be sold in the ancient city. In the ancient city, divine crystals and saint liquid were hard currency. Although divine stones could also be used, they were far inferior to divine crystals and saint liquid. 10,000 deity crystals could be exchanged for 1 drop of saint liquid. The god and devil space was filled with fiend god chi, so he needed god crystals and saint liquid to replenish his cultivation, or even to cultivate. Yi Liangchen and the others were dazzled. I'm afraid we'll have to stay in the god and devil space for a while. During this time, we'll have to kill some demon powerhouses. Their magic crystals can be exchanged for contribution points, and their bodies, fur, and bones can be sold in the god and devil space. If you're lucky, cultivating here will be much faster than cultivating in the academy. Ling Xiao looked at Yu Yangchen and the others and smiled. Are we going to hunt the demons now? Xian Wang's eyes flashed as he slowly asked. Go now. The god and devil space lacks everything except the demons. With the terrifying reproduction ability of the demons, we'll never be able to kill them all. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, and then he led the group out of the city. Selling the latest map of the god and devil space. It's only 1,000 divine crystals. Suddenly, a hawking sound from a stall in front of him attracted Ling Xiao's attention. It was a burly man with a simple and honest face. The blood energy around him was strong, and his cultivation had reached the early heavenly god realm. There were many jade slips on his stall. You have the latest map of the god and devil space? Ling Xiao walked over and asked the tall and sturdy man. That's right. This is indeed the latest map of the god and devil space. My companions and I have perfected it. The ancient city has a radius of 100,000 miles, the distribution of the demon tribes, and all kinds of dangerous places. Fellow cultivator, would you like to have a copy? The burly man's eyes lit up when he saw Ling Xiao, and he quickly introduced the map to him. Give me a copy. Do you accept divine stones? Ling Xiao said calmly. The maps of the god and devil space were not easy to sell, mainly because the changes were too fast. A demon tribe recorded on the map might be massacred in 2 days. With an outdated map, not only would it not be able to guide the target and direction, but it might also put one in danger. The burly man shouted until his throat was about to smoke, but in the end, he only sold a few copies of the map. I'll take divine stones too. I'll give you 10 million divine stones. Fellow cultivator, don't worry. My map is absolutely perfect. The 3 demon tribes recorded on it were just discovered yesterday. The burly man whispered to Ling Xiao. 3 demon tribes? Then why don't you do it yourselves? Ling Xiao asked in surprise. Those 3 demon tribes are not to be trifled with. There are demon powerhouses in the complete heavenly god realm guarding them. We've attacked them a few times, but we've always returned in defeat. The burly man said with a wry smile. All right. Ling Xiao nodded and handed the 10 million divine stones to the burly man. Then, he took a jade slip. Ling Xiao inspected it with his soul, and a map from the jade slip appeared in his mind. The map had detailed markings of several dangerous places within a radius of 50,000 kilometers, as well as the locations of the 3 demon tribes. When Ling Xiao was about to turn and leave, the burly man stopped him and said mysteriously, Fellow cultivator, I have a piece of information here. Do you want it? It's about the corpse of the great demon saint. I'll tell you if you want it for 10 million divine stones. The corpse of the great demon saint? Ling Xiao was shocked and asked suspiciously, since you have information about the corpse of the great demon saint, why don't you snatch it back yourselves? The burly man laughed bitterly and said, because there's a divine king realm demonic beast guarding the corpse. There's also a powerful formation around it. A few big forces are already preparing to join forces to snatch the corpse of the great demon saint. However, not many people know about it. I'll only charge you 10 million divine stones. It's not much, right? All right. I'll give you another 10 million divine stones. I'll take it. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. 10 million divine stones was nothing to him. However, the burly man's information was worth the risk. The corpse of the great demon saint was full of treasures. Whether it was the blood, flesh, or bones, they were all supreme treasures. They could even be exchanged for a complete holy treasure. Most importantly, the blood of the great demon saint contained a vast amount of energy. If Ling Xiao could obtain a few drops of the great demon saint's blood, it would be enough to increase his cultivation by leaps and bounds. Chapter 1324. Great. My friend, the location of the great demon saint's body is located in the Sky Devil Valley, which is 200,000 miles southwest of here. This is the exact location. The burly man chuckled and sent a message to Ling Shao that contained the location of the great demon saint's body. Thank you so much. A gleam of light flashed through Ling Xiao's eyes. He nodded, and then he left with the Xian King and the others. Senior Brother Long, do you really believe what the burly man said? Did he really sell you the location of the great demon saint's body so easily? Xian Wang looked at Ling Xiao and asked slowly. Of course I don't. Ling Xiao smiled and said, I can feel that the burly man did not have good intentions when he sold us the location of the great demon saint's body. However, I don't think he was lying. The great demon saint's body should be there, but I'm afraid it's a trap. A trap? Brother, that bastard dares to set us up. Let's go back and kill him. Yap Liangchen sneered. Don't worry. If he is up to something, we will find out sooner or later. Let's go and kill some demons to get used to the mythical space first. Ling Xiao smiled and said. In the blink of an eye, the 5 of them had left the ancient city. In the mythical space, the sky was vast and the surroundings were desolate. In front of them was an endless wasteland with a few barren mountains standing in the middle of it. According to this map, the nearest demon tribe is located in a valley which is 20,000 miles away from here. There is a demonic stone mine there, and there should be a few hundred elites from the tiger demon tribe there. However, the demons are very cunning. After they have finished mining the demonic stone mine, they will leave immediately. We have to speed up. Ling Xiao looked at the map and said to the rest. A few hundred tiger demons. Hee, these are all contribution points. We can't let them run away. Let's go there quickly. Yap Liangchen said excitedly. Let's go. Ling Xiao smiled and took the lead. He turned into a ray of light and flew towards the valley where the tiger demon tribe was located. Xian Wang, Yap Liangchen, Feng Ye, and Yin Tiansong followed behind him. Not long after Ling Xiao left the city, 3 figures left the city as well. The leader was a middle-aged man in a black robe. He looked very dignified. He was a complete heavenly god. Behind him were 2 late-stage heavenly gods. City Lord, Long Outyen, and the others should be heading towards the tiger demon tribe. Should we capture Long Outyen now? An expert in black armor cupped his hands and bowed. Don't worry. Long Outyen had bought 5 divine escape talismans. If they couldn't catch him this time and let him escape, they would be in trouble. It must be absolutely foolproof. The black-robed middle-aged man's eyes flashed as he slowly said. If Ling Xiao was here, he would definitely be able to recognize that this black-robed middle-aged man was actually the city governor of Dazzling Gold City, Lu Yangfeng. 3 days ago, Lu Yangfeng had received the news from Lu Wenqing. Therefore, he had used the teleportation array of another city to enter the supreme ancient city. As expected, he had met Ling Xiao. When he thought of the Black Tortoise Saint's inheritance, even Lu Yangfeng's heart couldn't help but burn. According to Lu Wenqing's memory, Ling Xiao had at least 1 flawless saint art and a flawless saint sword. Lu Yangfeng was also very cautious. Although Long Outyen was only a middle true god, his combat strength was extremely strong. Moreover, he had the Xian Kun sword. If he used the power of the Xian Kun sword, it was very likely that he would be seriously injured or even killed. His only concern now was the divine escape talisman and the Xian Kun sword on Ling Xiao. Then what should we do? Another subordinate asked. There seems to be an expert in the tiger demon tribe who is about to break through to the demon god king realm. We will follow Long Outyen and the others. If they really go to the tiger demon tribe, we will report to the tiger demon tribe. As long as we can force out the saint sword in his hand, we will be able to capture him. Lu Yangfeng's eyes flashed with killing intent as he said coldly. He already had a way to deal with the divine escape talisman. However, the flawless saint sword made him extremely wary. Now, it seemed like he could only think of a way to reap the benefits. Inform the tiger demon tribe? City Lord, if this matter is known by others, I'm afraid we will become traitors of the god realm. It will be difficult for us to gain a foothold in the god realm. The two subordinates' faces changed slightly as they couldn't help but say. They didn't have any psychological burden in killing Ling Xiao. However, they couldn't convince themselves to collude with the demon tribe. When the time comes, as long as we kill all 5 of them, who will know about this matter? Don't worry, after the matter is done, I will also teach you the flawless saint art to cultivate. Lu Yangfeng said with a faint smile. Flawless saint art? Thank you, City Lord. The two subordinates' eyes lit up and they immediately agreed. All the worries of conscience were thrown to the back of their minds. The 3 of them all wore treasures that could conceal their aura. They quietly followed behind Ling Xiao and the others and chased after them. In the mythical space, desolation and loneliness were the eternal themes. Occasionally, there would be a green mountain with flowers and trees. It was simply like an oasis in the desert. It was extremely rare. Ling Xiao and the other 3 moved forward and flew in the direction of the tiger demon tribe. Within 10,000 miles of the ancient city, there was no demon tribe at all. No demon tribe dared to approach this area. Within 10,000 miles, there were mostly small demon tribes. The strongest was only at the great circle of the heavenly god realm. Only in the area beyond 10,000 miles would there be large demon tribes. There were even many demon god king powerhouses. Moreover, there were countless treasures. Therefore, the ambitious powerhouses would go to the area beyond 10,000 miles to hunt demon tribe members and search for treasures. After all, the area within a radius of 100,000 miles had almost been completely searched by others. Ling Xiao and the others flew more than 20,000 miles. It was very peaceful along the way. They didn't even see a single low-level demon tribe member. Whoosh! 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 However, when Ling Xiao and the others flew over a barren mountain in front of them, dozens of black arrows were shot towards them in an instant. Divine power rose around Ling Xiao's body. With a palm strike, the dozens of arrows exploded one after another. They didn't even get close to Ling Xiao and the others. That's the imps? It's a pity that their cultivation is too low. They're not a threat. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He saw that there were dozens of 3 feet tall short people in the barren mountain below. They were very thin and weak. Demon chi rose around their bodies. They were holding bows and arrows and shooting at Ling Xiao and the others. They were mumbling something that Ling Xiao didn't understand, but their eyes were incomparably excited. Dozens of true demon realm fellows. Yi Liangchen, Fengye, Yin Tian Song, the 3 of you go down and practice. Get rid of them. Ling Xiao said indifferently. The imps could be said to be the most common low-level demon tribe in the demon realm. They were basically cannon fodder, miners, and coolies in the demon realm. Their status was very low. Chapter 1325. Ling Xiao looked carefully and discovered that several mines had been dug out from the barren mountain below. There were also imps in the mines, and it was unknown what they were digging for. Ling Xiao and the other 4 must have flown over here and were discovered by them. Therefore, they immediately drew their bows and shot arrows, wanting to kill Ling Xiao and the other 4. However, they probably didn't expect that they would kick an iron plate this time. No problem. Ha ha ha. You imp scum, why aren't you kneeling down and stretching out your necks? Are you waiting for me to chop off your heads? Yi Liangchen excitedly rushed towards the barren mountain and punched down. Fengye also took out her primal frost divine sword. Sword intent rose from her body, and the ancient sword shone brightly. The sword light seemed to be able to seal the world in ice as it slashed towards the imps. Yin Tian Song was the most cunning. He rolled his eyes and instantly used his escape technique to enter the mines of the barren mountain. He rushed towards the imps in the mines. Bang! Yi Liangchen's fist landed, and immediately, several imps were sent flying. The surrounding imps were shouting loudly as they rushed towards Yi Liangchen. Their bodies were surrounded by demonic light, and sharp nails grew out of their hands. They were like sharp blades, and cold light radiated in all directions. Clang! Sword chi erupted. Fengya fell from the void, and with a slash of her primal frost divine sword, those imps were cut into two halves. These imp powerhouses had low cultivations and low intelligence. Although they didn't fear death, they weren't a match for Yu Yangchen and Fengya. Soon, they were all killed. Not long after, Yin Tiansong also came out of the mines. The imps in the mines were all killed by him, leaving behind a guy who looked like the leader of the imps. He was tied up and brought in front of Ling Xiao. Senior Brother Long, these imps were sent here by the tiger demon race to mine for demonic spirit stones. Look! Yin Tiansong took out several black demonic spirit stones. They exuded a rich demonic spirit energy. There are demonic spirit stones in this barren mountain. That's strange. Can you understand what I'm saying? If you can, then nod your head. Otherwise, I will kill you right now. Ling Xiao lightly said as he glared at the imp leader. The imp leader's face was filled with panic. He nodded again and again. His cultivation was actually at the great circle of the true demon realm, but unfortunately, he was no match for Yin Tiansong and was directly captured by Yin Tiansong. Very good. What's your name? Why are you here? Ling Xiao asked calmly. The imp leader mumbled a great deal. Although his voice was cryptic, Ling Xiao was able to understand the meaning behind his words through the fluctuations of his primordial spirit. My lord, this lowly one is called Three Idiots. I was sent here by the Tiger Demon Clan's Lord Hu Gun. He wanted me to mine demonic spirit stones here and then use them to set up the formation. Ling Xiao's expression was a bit strange. If the name of the imp race was translated, it meant, Three Idiots. Yi Liangchen was speechless and said, Don't tell me you have two brothers. One is called Big Dumb and the other is called Too Dumb. That's right. Milord, how do you know that Big Fool and Too Fool are my brothers? Three Dumb looked at Yi Liangchen curiously. Yi Liangchen chuckled and was suddenly speechless. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed and said, Three Dumb, you said that the Tiger Demon Clan's Lord Hu Gun wants to set up a formation. What formation? What do they want to do? Three Dumb thought for a moment and said, That's right, they want to set up a formation. As for what formation they want to set up, I don't know. It seems like they want to create some kind of treasure. We could have finished mining all the demonic spirit stones today, but we didn't expect to meet these milords. Three Dumb hung his head dejectedly and his heart was very nervous. He was afraid that Ling Xiao and the others would not be satisfied and directly kill him. Then bring us to the Tiger Demon Clan's tribe. When we get there, I will let you go. Ling Xiao said calmly, but his voice was full of unquestionable fluctuations. Yes. Three Dumb nodded and agreed. Then, Ling Xiao and the others continued to fly towards the Tiger Demon Clan's tribe with Three Dumb. Along the way, Ling Xiao also learned some details about the Tiger Demon Clan from Three Dumb. The Tiger Demon Clan's Lord Hu Gun was indeed at the great circle of the Devil Heaven realm and his combat strength was extremely strong. After all, the Tiger Demon Clan was a middle-level demon clan. They were not comparable to trash like the Imp Clan. In the Tiger Demon Clan, there were a total of more than 300 clansmen. According to Three Dumb's guess, there were probably more than 20 Devil Heaven realm powerhouses. The rest were at the Devil Spirit realm and true Devil realm cultivation. Overall, this was a very huge force. Ling Xiao, do you feel that someone is following us? King Xian's eyes flashed. He approached Ling Xiao and sent him a message silently. You also noticed? There are indeed people following us. If they are not sent by Chu Yunfei, I'm afraid they are sent by Lu Wenqing and Lu Yan. Ling Xiao smiled faintly, his eyes revealing a trace of coldness. He guessed that the possibility of Lu Wenqing and Lu Yan sending people to kill him was higher. No matter how stupid Lu Wenqing was, he probably already suspected that the Black Tortoise Saint's inheritance was obtained by Ling Xiao. It was just that Lu Wenqing and Lu Yan were really haunting him. What do you want to do? King Xian asked. If my guess is correct, I'm afraid that these people already know that we have the divine escape talisman on us and are looking for an opportunity. However, they should be targeting me. If anything happens later, you take the 3 of them and leave first. I will hold them back. Ling Xiao sneered. Are you confident? King Xian asked. Don't worry, I won't die. Ling Xiao said. King Xian nodded and continued to fly forward. Soon, they arrived at the valley where the Tiger Demon clan was located. In front of them was a barren mountain range. The mountain peaks rose and fell continuously, but they were all bare without the slightest bit of green. Moreover, Ling Xiao could feel that there was an extremely dense devil qi rising in front of them. Sir, the Tiger Demon clan is in that valley, but most of the clansmen have been sent to the surroundings to mine devil spiritual stones. At this moment, there shouldn't be many tiger demons in the tribe. 3 Dumb pointed at the huge basin in the middle of the barren mountains in front of them and whispered to Ling Xiao. Senior brother Long, why don't I go to the valley to take a look? I will use the earth escape technique, they definitely won't be able to find me. Wait until I find out the situation in the valley, then we will think of a way. Yin Tiansong volunteered. Ling Xiao was just about to say something when his eyes suddenly flashed. He smiled faintly and said, I'm afraid there's no need for that. Someone is 1 step ahead of us. It seems that they have already started a war with the Tiger Demon clan. Boom! As soon as Ling Xiao's voice fell, an earth-shattering sound of thunder came from the basin in front of them. It was as if a bright divine light had exploded, and a black mushroom cloud appeared in the void. Immediately after, intense battle cries could be heard. Devil light and divine light intertwined, and a great battle broke out in the valley of the Tiger Demon clan. P.S. I've been writing until now. It's already the 8th chapter. There are still 2 more chapters that I can't finish today. I'll put them together with tomorrow's update. Chapter 1327. Senior brother, don't worry. Senior brother Long is very strong. It's just a demonic bug. He will kill it very quickly. King Xian replied calmly. Wang Chong and the other disciples of the Great Zhou Academy were curious. Ling Xiao seemed to only be in the early stage of the true immortal realm, but King Xian trusted him so much that he could kill the demonic bug quickly. This made them more confident in Ling Xiao. Boom! Ling Xiao's body emitted a dazzling light. His body was unparalleled. He turned into a dazzling ray of light and rushed toward the black demonic bug. The experts of the Tiger Demon clan also knew Ling Xiao's plan. They all rushed toward him without regard for their lives. Boom! Ling Xiao punched out. The fist print shook the void. A true demon realm expert of the Tiger Demon clan in front of him was directly blown apart by his punch. Whoosh! Ling Xiao's legs were like whips, sweeping in all directions. The dozen or so experts of the Tiger Demon clan all coughed up blood and retreated. Their faces were filled with shock. The godly demon clan valued their physical bodies the most. Their physical bodies were even comparable to those of the demon clan in the demon realm. In their memories, humans had never dared to fight them head-on with their physical bodies. They had always fought them with powerful divine weapons and martial arts. But this white-robed young man in front of them had a terrifying physical body. Almost no one was a match for him. Soon, he had killed his way to the demonic bug's surroundings. This is the 3rd level of the indestructible war body. This junior brother has such a strong physical body. Wang Chong exclaimed. He recognized that the martial art Ling Xiao was using was the indestructible war body. Stop him. We can't let him disturb Milord. The eyes of the Tiger Demon clan all turned red. They rushed toward Ling Xiao without fear of death, wanting to stop him. You're courting death. Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with killing intent. He raised his jade-white palm. A trace of black divine light lingered on it, containing the ultimate destructive power. He suddenly slashed his palm toward a blade in front of him. The dazzling blade light was like a vast galaxy, as if it had shrouded the void in all directions. The dozen or so experts of the Tiger Demon clan in front of him were all cleaved into two halves by his blade. They fell down neatly in an instant, their flesh and blood splattering everywhere. This was the power of the 7 moves of judgment. It killed more than a dozen powerhouses of the Tiger Demon clan in one move. Its power was extremely formidable. There was no one else in front of him to stop Ling Xiao. He instantly pounced towards the black demonic bug. Rumble. In front of him was an ancient stone pool filled with black demonic spirit stones. There were even many corpses of demonic beasts. In the center of the pool was a black ball of light. There was a black worm that was more than 10 feet long. It had a ferocious head, and its eyes were blood-red and cruel. It had a pair of transparent wings on its back, and its entire body was emitting an extremely terrifying corrosive power. It really is a defective product. Ling Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. A true world-etching bug had 12 wings on its back. Legend had it that when the 12 wings flapped, the corrosive power it released could destroy a great 1,000 world. He didn't know where the demon clan got this defective product and cultivated it here. However, even if it was a defective product, it couldn't be underestimated. Ling Xiao could sense a dangerous aura. This demonic bug had the power to threaten the heavenly god realm. Boom! Ling Xiao blasted a punch towards its head. His fist was extremely ferocious. Jia! The demonic bug stared at Ling Xiao. Its blood-red eyes were filled with cruelty. Suddenly, a sharp sound came out of its mouth. It was as if a sharp blade was going to pierce through Ling Xiao's consciousness. At the same time, the demonic bug opened its mouth and instantly spat out dozens of black demonic lines. They intertwined with each other and enveloped Ling Xiao. Break for me. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and a dazzling blade radiance bloomed in front of him. The blade radiance of the judgment blade instantly cut open the void and the dozens of demonic lines. Then, Ling Xiao's fist landed heavily on the bug's head. As for that sharp sound, it didn't have any effect on Ling Xiao. It didn't even enter his consciousness before it was dissolved into nothingness. The demonic bug screamed. Its body trembled violently, and it was sent flying. Ling Xiao was slightly surprised. His punch seemed to have landed on cotton. More than half of its power was dissipated. Otherwise, the demonic bug would have been blown apart by his punch. The demonic bug seemed to know that Ling Xiao wasn't to be trifled with. The wings on its back flapped, and a terrifying divine light swept towards Ling Xiao. Then, it flapped its wings and instantly fled into the distance. Trying to escape. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had long been on guard against the demonic bug's escape. Therefore, he directly slapped the demonic bug with his palm. The 5 elements divine light was dazzling and extremely fast. It was as if it had turned into a 5 elements enchantment and directly enveloped the demonic bug. Whoosh! With a suction force from Ling Xiao's palm, the demonic bug was directly caught by him. You'd better behave yourself. Ling Xiao directly slapped the demonic bug unconscious. Then, he set up a few restrictions and threw the demonic bug into the space of the wordless heavenly book. What's that? Ling Xiao had just dealt with the demonic bug when he saw that there was a milky white crystal where the demonic bug had been. It was the size of a longan and extremely round. It actually emitted a strange and extremely pure aura of the divine path. Those demonic spirit stones had already exhausted their energy and had become useless stones without any spirituality. Only this milky white crystal was emitting a faint light. This is the aura of the divine liquid? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He could actually feel the dense power of the divine path from that milky white crystal. It actually contained more than 20 drops of the divine liquid. Legend has it that the world-etching bug can corrode the world and nurture supreme treasures. Could this defective product be able to absorb energy from the void and nurture the divine liquid? Thinking of this, Ling Xiao's eyes lit up. Suddenly, the sound of something breaking through the air came from behind Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and he immediately put away that milky white crystal. Behind Ling Xiao, the green-robed Wang Chong flew over, and in an instant, he was in front of Ling Xiao. After Ling Xiao subdued the demonic insect, the black threads that had trapped them naturally disappeared. They immediately turned the tables, forcing the powerhouses of the Tiger Demon clan to retreat step by step, and even launched a one-sided massacre. In the blink of an eye, the situation had reversed. Many tiger demons began to scatter and flee. Seeing Ling Xiao put away that milky white crystal, Wang Chong's face couldn't help but darken. However, he still pretended to be calm and said, "Many thanks to this junior brother for saving us. However, that crystal in junior brother's hand is a treasure that I lost here. Please return it to me. This one will be eternally grateful." Chapter 1328. Senior brother, are you talking about this crystal? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and a milky white crystal appeared in his palm. He smirked as he asked Wang Chong, "What do you think?" "That's right. It's this crystal. Thank you, junior brother, for returning it to its rightful owner." Wang Chong's eyes immediately blazed as he reached out to take it. However, Ling Xiao retracted his hand. Wang Chong's face darkened as he asked, "What do you mean by this? Are you not returning it to me?" "Senior brother, I'm afraid you're mistaken. This crystal is my spoil of war after killing the demon bug." "How could it belong to you?" Ling Xiao smiled faintly. "Junior brother, this crystal was snatched away by the demon bug when we were hunting the demon race. It's indeed mine. Please return it to its rightful owner. You don't want to hurt the relationship between our two clans, right?" Wang Chong said calmly. He was a mid-heavenly god, an entire major realm higher than Ling Xiao. Although Ling Xiao's battle prowess was decent and he had cultivated the invincible battle body, he did not think Ling Xiao would be his match. At this moment, everyone had also finished their work. After slaughtering all the powerhouses of the Tiger Demon clan, they walked over one after another. When they heard the conversation between Ling Xiao and Wang Chong, different expressions appeared on their faces. "Junior brother, why aren't you handing over senior brother Wang's item?" "That's right. Junior brother, we just fought side by side and killed so many demon race experts. Our senior brother Wang has already said that as long as you hand over his things, he will give you 30% of these demon race demon crystals." The two early sky celestial disciples looked at Ling Xiao coldly and arrogantly. Ling Xiao was so angry that he laughed. His eyes turned cold. "I think you're mistaken. If we didn't appear to save you, you would have become food for those demon bugs. This crystal is my spoil of war. As for the demon crystals, we'll only take 50% since you guys also contributed." He hadn't expected that these great Zhou Academy disciples would turn their backs on him. He had just helped them escape, but they were already eyeing the spoils of war in Ling Xiao's hands. Ling Xiao didn't believe that the crystal belonged to Wang Chong. Most likely, Wang Chong had come to the Tiger Demon tribe for this crystal. Yi Liangchen sneered and said, "My big brother saved you. Why aren't you kneeling down and thanking him? How dare you take my big brother's things? I've never seen anyone as shameless as you. I'm afraid even those demon bastards aren't as thick-skinned as you." Yin Tiansong also said darkly, "If it weren't for us, you would all be dead. If I were you, I would immediately turn around and leave. How could I have the nerve to share the spoils? Are your lives so cheap that they can't even compare to a few magic crystals?" Yi Liangchen and Yin Tiansong's words were extremely vicious. The expressions of the great Zhou Academy's disciples changed as they glared at them. "Bastards, are you courting death? Even without you, our senior brother Wang would have been able to deal with that demonic bug. Clearly, it was you who took advantage of us. If you know what's good for you, hand it over. That's right, hurry up and hand it over. Otherwise, senior brother Wang won't let you off. What kind of trash are the Ares Academy's disciples? How dare you steal our senior brother Wang's treasure?" The great Zhou Academy's disciples had unfriendly expressions as they stared at Ling Xiao and the others and berated them. Ling Xiao's expression instantly turned cold. He stared at Wang Chong and the others and said, I'll say it one last time. This crystal is my spoils of war. If you're not afraid of death, come and snatch it. As soon as Ling Shao finished speaking, King Xian and Feng Ye both pointed their ancient swords at Wang Chong and the others. Their eyes were as cold as ice. The Great Zhou Academy and Ares Academy began to draw their swords and bows. It was as though a huge battle was about to break out at any moment. Wang Chong's expression changed. There was even a hint of killing intent in his eyes. However, when he saw Ling Zhao's incomparably calm gaze, his heart couldn't help but tremble. He had a premonition that this person in front of him wasn't afraid of him. If he really dared to make a move here, there would probably be some unforeseen consequences. No matter how he thought about it, he still wasn't confident. If Ling Shao and the others all used the Divine Escape Talisman to leave this place, they would still end up with nothing. Good. Very good. You're called Long Outyen, right? Junior brother Long, I'll remember you. I'll leave that crystal with you for now. However, when you return to the ancient city, I'll personally come and get it. Wang Chong looked at Ling Shao with an ashen face. Then, he turned around and left with the others. Everyone was a little surprised. They didn't expect Wang Chong to leave just like that. A bunch of cowardly rats. Ungrateful. Pooey. Yi Liangchen sneered. Don't bother about them. Let's leave this place first. If we wait for that Hu Gun to return, I'm afraid we'll be in trouble. Ling Shao said to King Xian and the others. They cleaned up the battlefield and plundered all the precious ores, heavenly treasures, and demonic crystals from the Tiger Demon clan. Then, they quickly left the basin with Ling Shao. Big brother, we've made a small fortune this time. All the demon crystals added together can be exchanged for 2,000 contribution points. Also, we can exchange those natural treasures for god crystals or holy liquid in the ancient city. Yap Liangchen was like a miser. He counted his gains and said excitedly. That's right, master. In the mythical space, danger and opportunity coexist. If you want to obtain an opportunity, you have to take risks. Just 2,000 contribution points and you're so happy. This little amount of contribution points is only enough for one person to cultivate in the God of War Pagoda for 2 days. If we don't get a few 100,000 contribution points, how can we be worthy of this trip? Ling Shao smiled faintly. A few 100,000 contribution points. Young master, are you planning to kill the demon god king? Yin Tiansong was also shocked. A few 100,000 contribution points was an unimaginable amount of money. One had to know that killing a demon god king could only exchange for 10,000 contribution points. How many demons would he have to kill to get a few 100,000 contribution points? Ling Shao was about to say something when a cold light flashed in his eyes. He sent a telepathic message to King Xian. The 3 people following us are really like ghosts. How about this? Let's split up and meet at the next demon tribe. I'll think of a way to get rid of the 3 of them. King Xian replied, are you confident? Don't worry. None of them will be able to escape. Ling Shao said calmly. All right. King Xian nodded. She naturally trusted Ling Shao. Chapter 1329. Swoosh. Swoosh. Xian Wang led Yi Liangchen, Feng Ye, and Yin Tiansong and flew towards the distance quickly. Ling Shao, on the other hand, sat down cross-legged and looked at the void behind him calmly. Come out. You followed me from the ancient city all the way here. Your target is me, right? Ling Shao said in a clear voice. His voice exploded in the void like thunder. The void in front of him was very calm. However, as a bright light flashed, 3 figures appeared and landed in front of Ling Shao. Long Outyen, you can actually find the traces of the 3 of us. However, you're just a middle-stage true god. Where did you get the confidence to face the 3 of us? Lu Yangfeng looked at Ling Shao indifferently. Ling Shao, Xian Wang, and the others split up, while he stayed behind. His words gave Lu Yangfeng a big fright, as he never thought that Ling Xiao would actually discover her. Dazzling Gold City's city lord, Lu Yangfeng. Lu Wenqing asked you to come, right? I didn't expect him to be so persistent. It seems like I'll have to teach him a lesson when I return to the college this time. Ling Xiao looked at Lu Yangfeng and said indifferently. He had already guessed that Lu Wenqing and Lu Yan had sent people to deal with him. Therefore, when he saw Lu Yangfeng, he was not surprised. You still want to return to Aries College? I'm afraid you won't have the chance anymore. A sharp light flashed in Lu Yangfeng's eyes. Then, a bright jade talisman rose from his palm. It turned into a huge magic array, and enveloped the entire area. This is the Prison Circle Talisman. I know you bought the Divine Escape Talisman. However, even the Divine Escape Talisman can't break this array space. Therefore, you should give up. If you don't want to die, hand over the Black Tortoise Sage's inheritance obediently. Otherwise, no one can save you today. Lu Yangfeng stared at Ling Xiao and said. This Prison Circle Talisman was a sage talisman. He had paid a huge price to get it. It was to deal with Ling Xiao. However, what surprised him was that Ling Xiao did not resist at all. Even his expression was still very calm. Your goal is the Black Tortoise Sage's inheritance? That's right. The Black Tortoise Sage's inheritance is indeed in my hands. Ling Xiao nodded and said. Although Lu Yangfeng had already guessed it, his eyes still lit up when he heard Ling Xiao admit it. It's really in your hands. Hand it over quickly. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and said, Relax, I'll take it out. But I'm afraid that even if you live to see it, you won't live to take it away. You're courting death. Lu Yangfeng's gaze turned cold, and a murderous aura surrounded him. He said coldly, Long Out Yen, you're about to die, and you still want to play tricks? Cut the crap and hand it over. No problem, I'll show it to you now. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Whoosh! Whoosh! 3 dazzling lights appeared in front of Lu Yangfeng in an instant. They turned into 3 silver-ranked warriors that were about 10 feet tall. Their bodies were shining with silver light. They looked mighty and majestic. They were emitting a very dangerous wave. What is this? Lu Yangfeng's expression changed as a bad premonition welled up in his heart. Don't you want the inheritance of the Black Tortoise Saint? This is one of them. There are 3 silver-ranked warriors. All of them possess the battle prowess of a complete heavenly god. Do you want to give it a try? Ling Xiao smiled faintly. What? Lu Yangfeng and his 2 subordinates shuddered. Their gazes instantly became incomparably vigilant. Kill them. Ling Xiao pointed at Lu Yangfeng and his 2 subordinates and said indifferently. Boom! As soon as Ling Xiao's voice fell, the 3 silver-ranked warriors emitted a terrifying aura. Their eyes became extremely lively. The silver war spears in their hands shone brightly. They lifted them up like javelins and threw them at Lu Yangfeng and his 2 subordinates. The 3 silver-ranked warriors' aura was extremely ferocious. The silver war spears were extremely fast. With their battle prowess that was comparable to a complete heavenly god, they appeared in front of Lu Yangfeng and his 2 subordinates almost instantly. What? Lu Yangfeng's expression changed drastically. He felt a fatal killing intent. He immediately threw a punch at the silver war spears while his body moved to the side at the same time. However, his 2 subordinates were not so lucky. Although they managed to avoid being hit in their vitals, their bodies were instantly pierced through. They spat out a mouthful of blood. As the war spears were thrown, the 3 silver-ranked warriors moved as well. Although they looked very clumsy, they moved like ghosts. They grabbed the silver war spears with their hands, then injected their divine energy into them and threw them at Ling Xiao. No! Lu Yangfeng's 2 subordinates' expressions changed drastically. Their eyes were filled with despair. After the silver-ranked warriors grabbed the war spears that pierced through their chests, they did not give them any time to react. They immediately pulled the spears out and pierced through their foreheads at an extremely fast speed. They were killed on the spot and their souls were destroyed. Lu Yangfeng's soul almost left his body. His body shone brightly and turned into a golden protective shield. He took the attack of the silver war spears head-on. After that, he did not even think about it and fled into the distance. He no longer had the slightest intention of snatching the Black Tortoise Saint's inheritance from Ling Xiao. No matter how much he thought about it, he did not expect Ling Xiao to have obtained such heaven-defying puppets like the silver-ranked warriors. There were not many puppets that were comparable to a complete heavenly god even in the 12 immortal sanctuaries. After all, the way of puppetry had long been lost. Go back, Ling Xiao said indifferently. Then, his eyes flashed sharply. The Xian Kun sword in his hand shone brightly. A beautiful sword river descended from the sky and slashed directly at Lu Yangfeng. Ling Xiao had already calculated Lu Yangfeng's escape route. This time, he did not intend to let anyone live. The Xian Kun sword was a flawless holy treasure. Although Ling Xiao could only unleash the power of one attack, his divine energy would be depleted after that attack. However, this attack already had the power to threaten a divine king. This was the sword of holy path. Long Out Yen, I will not let you go. I'll definitely kill you. Ah! Block it for me. Lu Yangfeng's eyes were filled with incomparable madness. Suddenly, a black shield appeared in his hand. It flowed with a mysterious holy path aura and blocked in front of the Xian Kun sword. Kacha! The black shield actually withstood the attack of the Xian Kun sword. A black divine light burst out and bright runes filled the air. It directly shook the Xian Kun sword back. However, under this attack, the black shield seemed to have exhausted its energy. With a crisp cracking sound, it shattered like a spider web in an instant. Chapter 1330. Although Lu Yangfeng had blocked the attack of the Xian Kun sword unscathed, he had lost the opportunity to escape. The 3 silver-ranked warriors had surrounded him. Whoosh! 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 3 silver spears pierced through the void and pierced towards the 3 vital parts of Lu Yangfeng's body. They were extremely vicious. Open up! Lu Yangfeng roared angrily. A black ancient sword appeared in his hand. It was a sage-level treasure, flowing with a strong holy aura. He used the Zhou Tian sword manipulation technique. Sword chi burst out from his body and enveloped the 3 silver-ranked warriors. Clang! Clang! Boom! The 3 silver spears suddenly slashed at the ancient sword in Lu Yangfeng's hand, and a resplendent light burst out. Although Lu Yangfeng had a sage-level treasure, he still felt the blood in his body surging. His arms were numb, and he took a few steps back. His eyes were filled with horror. Lu Yangfeng, since you're here, leave your life behind. Ling Xiao said indifferently, and a trace of killing intent appeared at the corner of his mouth. Lu Yangfeng could be said to be trapped in a cocoon of his own making. The prison rune could last for at least 15 minutes. During this time, even Lu Yangfeng could not use the divine escape rune to return to the ancient city. The 3 silver-ranked warriors were not afraid of death. Soon, they had forced Lu Yangfeng into a dangerous situation. If it were not for the sage-level treasure in his hand, he would have died in the hands of the silver-ranked warriors. Ling Xiao took out the milky white crystal he had obtained and swallowed 2 drops of saint liquid. Immediately, a vast amount of energy surged into his body, and the divine power he had consumed was quickly restored. Although the sacred liquid could be used to restore one's cultivation, and it was more effective than many divine elixirs, few people would be so extravagant as to use the sacred liquid to restore their cultivation. Most people used the sacred liquid as a treasure to break through to the next realm. When Ling Xiao used the Xian Kun sword, he had almost exhausted all of his divine power. After swallowing 2 drops of sacred liquid, his divine power was instantly replenished. Slash! Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and he used the Xian Kun sword again. Rumble! The Xian Kun sword shone resplendently as rays of sword qi intertwined with each other. A terrifying and vast Saint Qi erupted as the Xian Kun sword soared into the sky and slashed down towards Lu Yangfeng. Ling Shao used the mysterious Kun sword to display the 7 styles of judgment. It turned into a blazing saber Qi, like a heavenly river. No! Lu Yangfeng felt the fatal killing intent, and his eyes were filled with despair. He suddenly roared, and the terrifying divine power around him exploded, frantically trying to dodge the attack. However, regardless of whether it was the Xian Kun sword or the 7 styles of judgment, they were not something that he could contend against. Puff! A blood-red light flashed, and Lu Yangfeng was instantly split into 2 halves by the Xian Kun sword. Even his primordial spirit did not escape, and directly dispersed. The power of the Xian Kun sword was incomparably terrifying. Even the prison talisman could not withstand the power of this sword and directly shattered. Speaking of which, Lu Yangfeng could be said to have been caught in a trap of his own making. If he had not used the prison talisman, he might have been able to escape with the divine escape talisman. Although he had overestimated Ling Xiao, he did not expect Ling Xiao's strength to be so terrifying. Not only did he have the Xian Kun sword, but he also had the heaven-defying puppet of a silver-tier warrior. It's a pity that I can't use these 3 silver-tier warriors for the time being. The next time I go to the Void Temple, I might be able to find a way to replenish their energy. Ling Xiao sighed softly. This time, in order to completely eliminate Lu Yangfeng and the other 2, he directly sent out 3 silver-tier warriors. However, after this battle, the silver-tier warriors' energy cores had been depleted, and they could only return to the Void Realm to replenish their runic power. After this battle, Ling Xiao also discovered the weakness of the white-clothed warriors. The silver-tier warriors were suitable for frontal assaults. If the opponent wanted to escape, the silver-tier warriors would not be able to catch up. After Lu Yangfeng died, there was nothing left of him except for the Black Divine Sword. Black Dragon Sword? It's not a bad sword. I can still use it. Ling Xiao grabbed Lu Yangfeng's Black Divine Sword and saw the sword name engraved on it. He could not help but praise it in his heart. The Xian Kun sword was a flawless holy treasure. With his current cultivation, he would use up all his divine power in a single attack. The Black Dragon Sword was just an ordinary saint-level treasure. Ling Xiao could use it as a weapon for self-defense. However, if Lu Wenqing and Lu Wu saw it, they would probably go crazy. After all, Ling Xiao had killed their father. If you want to die, I don't mind fulfilling your wishes. Thinking of Lu Wenqing and Lu Wu, Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with killing intent. Boom! Golden flames rose from Ling Xiao's palm. The devouring divine fire swept out and instantly burned the bodies of Lu Yangfeng and his 2 subordinates to ashes, completely destroying all traces of their corpses. Ling Xiao leaped up and rushed towards the direction of the demonic werewolves. Ling Xiao, Xian Wang, and Yu Yangshan had agreed to meet at the demonic werewolves. It was less than 20,000 miles away. After a few hours, Ling Xiao arrived at the area where the demonic werewolves were located. Sirius Mountain. This was a huge mountain. Although the demonic qi was overwhelming, the mountain was majestic and ancient trees towered into the sky. It was actually filled with vitality. After the demonic werewolves occupied this mountain, it was renamed Sirius Mountain. It was said that many people wanted to hunt down the experts of the demonic werewolves. However, all of them returned in defeat. This was also the most powerful demonic tribe within 100,000 miles. When Ling Xiao sneaked to the foot of Sirius Mountain, he contacted Xian Wang and the rest. Senior Brother Long, we just captured an expert of the demonic werewolves and interrogated him. Now, the demonic werewolves are the same as the demonic tiger tribe. They are empty internally. The strongest expert of the demonic werewolves, Lang Shan, has left Sirius Mountain with his men. Now is the best time to strike. Xian Wang said to Ling Xiao. That's right. The demonic werewolves are stronger than the demonic tiger tribe. However, since their strongest expert has left, the remaining wolf pups are not a threat. However, we also heard some unexpected news. The demonic werewolves have captured a few junior sisters from the Imperial College. Big brother, should we go and rescue them? Yu Yangchen chuckled. Lang Shan is not in Sirius Mountain. This is good news. However, he and Hu Gun just happened to leave the tribe. I'm afraid this matter is not as simple as it seems. However, we are here for the contribution points. Since this is the case, let's just go and kill all the experts of the Sirius Mountain. Ling Xiao smiled faintly as a sharp glint flashed in his eyes. As for the disciples of the Imperial College, if it was convenient, he would naturally rescue them. Chapter 1331. Whoosh! 10 black iron warriors and 3 silver warriors appeared in front of Ling Xiao. All of them were more than 10 feet tall and looked like they were made of metal. They looked very lifelike and each of them held a battle spear. The appearance of the black iron warriors and silver warriors gave Xian Wang, Yap Liangchen, Feng Ye, and Yin Tiansong a shock. These are the opportunities that I obtained in the Great Void's secret realm. The Black Iron Warriors can unleash the combat power of the complete True God realm while the Silver Warriors can unleash the combat power of the complete Heavenly God realm. With them charging for us, we will be able to kill all the demonic wolves in the shortest time possible. Ling Xiao smiled as he briefly explained the Black Iron Warriors and Silver Warriors to them. It can only be used once. That's such a waste. This is the legendary Tao of puppetry from the ancient times. Brother, why don't you give one to me? Yap Liangchen laughed shamelessly. Don't worry. Once I find out how to replenish the energy of these silver warriors, I will give each of you one. Ling Xiao smiled. He had a total of 9 silver warriors. Once he solved the problem of the energy core, he could give them to Yap Liangchen and the rest to protect themselves. Ha ha ha. Brother, you are so generous. Let's charge in then. Those wolf cubs are dead meat. Yap Liangchen's eyes lit up as he said eagerly. Kill. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed with killing intent as he led the charge towards Sky Wolf Mountain. Rumble. Their auras exploded. With the Black Iron Warriors and Silver Warriors paving the way, Ling Xiao and the other 4 charged up Sky Wolf Mountain. Enemy attack. A sharp voice resounded through the Celestial Wolf Mountain. Following which, the demonic chi churned. Numerous figures shot out from the Celestial Wolf Mountain and pounced towards Ling Xiao and the others. The experts of the demonic wolf clan were more than 3 meters tall. They had the head of a wolf and the body of a human. Their faces were very ugly, but their bodies were very strong. Their muscles were bulging and their blood was boiling. Their eyes were full of cruelty. Despicable humans. How dare you invade Sky Wolf Mountain? You are courting death. My children, kill them all and offer them to the Lord as food. The leader of the demonic wolves had the cultivation of the complete heavenly god realm. He was more than 10 feet tall and covered in golden fur. He held a huge axe in his hand and his eyes were filled with cruelty and bloodthirsty killing intent. Rumble. He was the first to pounce on Ling Xiao and the others. The experts of the demonic wolves looked at Ling Xiao and the others as if they were looking at food. They roared and charged at them. Rumble. Under Ling Xiao's command, the 3 silver warriors charged towards the leader of the demonic wolves. The 3 silver battle spears shone brightly, as if they could penetrate everything. They directly penetrated several powerhouses of the demonic wolf clan in front of them. The terrifying power burst out and turned them into a bloody mist. Then, the spears continued to stab at the leader of the demonic wolf clan. Clang! Sparks flew in all directions as the spear collided with Lang Kai Shan's axe, causing a rumbling sound. The 3 silver warriors remained unaffected, while the demonic wolf clan powerhouse retreated several steps in succession. What? His eyes were filled with disbelief. The 3 silver stone golems in front of him were actually no weaker than him. Despicable human, you're courting death. He was not stupid. He could tell at a glance that the silver warriors were just puppets, and the one who was commanding them was Ling Xiao. Therefore, he stomped his feet and shot up into the sky like a cannonball. He bypassed the silver warriors and smashed his huge axe at Ling Xiao. Open! Ling Xiao did not dodge when he felt the dangerous fluctuation from the leader of the demonic wolves. Instead, his eyes were filled with a strong desire to fight. He also wanted to test how his current physical body was compared to the demonic wolves. After all, the demonic wolves were only middle-level demons. There were high-level demons above them, and even the legendary saint-level demons. The black dragon sword shone brightly. Ling Xiao activated the 7 moves of judgment with the power of the immortal war body. He rose into the air and slashed at the leader of the demonic wolves. Boom! The black dragon sword and the mountain-splitting axe collided. Ling Xiao felt an unparalleled force coming at him. His arm was slightly numb, and he could not help but take a few steps back. The leader of the demonic wolves also staggered and retreated. How is this possible? The leader of the demonic wolves widened his eyes, and his face was filled with disbelief. This human ant's aura was much weaker than his, but his physical body was so strong that it was not any weaker than his. However, before he could think further, the 3 silver warriors' battle spears had already pierced through the air at lightning speed. Bang! The leader of the demonic wolves felt the danger and suddenly blocked behind him with his huge axe. Although he blocked the attack of the battle spears, his back was exposed in front of Ling Xiao. Boom! Ling Xiao punched out, and a golden fist mark exploded like the sun. It was unparalleled in strength, and it directly hit the back of the leader of the demonic wolves. Ling Xiao's punch was filled with the power of the immortal war body. It was extremely terrifying, and it directly sent the leader of the demonic wolves flying. He suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. Puff! 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 At this moment, the silver battle spears in the hands of the 3 silver warriors instantly pierced through his glabella, heart, and dantian, nailing him to the ground. The most powerful person of the demonic wolves was directly killed, and the remaining demonic wolves were all terrified. They lost half of their fighting spirit in an instant. In addition, the black iron warriors and silver warriors were invincible and fearless. They killed a demonic wolf expert with a single spear strike, causing the demonic wolves experts to wail and flee in all directions. Xian Wang, Yi Liangchen, Feng Ye, and Yin Tiansong originally thought that there would be a big battle, but they did not expect the demonic wolves experts to be defeated so quickly. They followed behind the black iron warriors and silver warriors, constantly reaping the lives of the demonic wolves experts and extracting the demonic crystals from their bodies. It was extremely easy for them. Hundreds of demonic wolves experts were killed just like that, and a small number of them escaped. When Ling Xiao killed his way to the top of the Sirius mountain, he saw an ancient stone pool at the top of the mountain. Demonic chi rose from it, and it contained an extremely evil and corrosive power. In the stone pool, there was a black worm that was about 10 feet long. It had a pair of wings on its back, a hideous head, and blood-red eyes. It stared at Ling Xiao, and demonic lines intertwined around its body, wrapping a man and 3 women in it. It looked like the man and 3 women would be swallowed by the black demonic worm at any time. It's actually a defective world-etching bug? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. The Tiger Demon clan had defective world-etching bugs, and the Demonic Wolves clan also had defective world-etching bugs. Ling Xiao suddenly felt that something was wrong. Who had brought the defective world-etching bug? Chapter 1332. There was no time for Ling Xiao to ponder. The insect let out a sharp shriek and dozens of black demonic lines shot towards him. The black demonic insect seemed to have sensed Ling Xiao's threat and made the first move. The sharp howl contained a powerful attack of the soul, as if it wanted to pierce through Ling Xiao's forehead. The black demonic threads wanted to wrap around Ling Xiao, before devouring all of Ling Xiao's flesh and divine power. Although the black demonic insect looked like a larva, it wasn't weak at all. However, Ling Xiao was prepared for it and had already caught a black demonic insect. Rumble. The black dragon sword in Ling Xiao's hand was incomparably sharp. He slashed down and rays of holy light filled the air, shattering the black lines. Ling Xiao stretched out his hand and grabbed the black demon bug. Like a bolt of lightning, he pinched the black demon bug and knocked it out with a few slaps. Then, he suppressed the black demonic insect in the wordless heavenly tome. Ling Xiao's eyes suddenly revealed a trace of surprise. He suddenly saw that the black demonic insect from before had disappeared from the wordless heavenly tome. To be more precise, it was devoured by the divine sky-mend butterfly. He didn't know when Jean Sei and the divine sky-mend butterfly had both woken up. Jean Sei's red dress fluttered in the wind. Her complexion was beautiful and her skin was whiter than snow. However, her snow-white hair made her seem somewhat weathered. Her eyes were filled with indifference and confusion. It was as if she didn't know where she was and was casually walking around in that space. The wordless heavenly tome was a world of its own. The divine sky-mend butterfly emitted 9 colors of light. It looked ethereal, gorgeous, and incomparably mysterious as it floated on Jean Sei's shoulder. Ling Xiao could sense a trace of the black demonic insect's aura on the divine sky-mend butterfly. Clearly, the black demonic insect had been eaten by the divine sky-mend butterfly. Moreover, the divine sky-mend butterfly's strength seemed to have increased as well. It actually emitted a trace of danger that made Ling Xiao feel somewhat threatened. However, Ling Xiao didn't care about the divine sky-mend butterfly. His gaze fell on Jean Sei. Ling Xiao felt his heart tremble slightly. Seeing Jean Sei's indifferent and unfamiliar eyes, he felt an incomparable pain in his heart. Had she lost all her memories in the end? Ling Xiao's heart was filled with apprehension. He didn't know how to face Jean Sei. Is this a junior from Aries College? Thank you, junior brother, for saving us. We can't thank you enough. At this moment, a weak voice pulled Ling Xiao back from his thoughts. The black demonic lines were broken, and the black demon bug was captured by Ling Xiao. The trapped man and 3 women immediately broke free. The 3 of them were dressed in white robes, and a small sword was embroidered on their sleeves with golden thread. It was obvious that they were from the Imperial Academy. The man was tall and slender, and his face was handsome. His eyes were pure and deep, and his temperament was as gentle as jade. He was like a modest gentleman. At this moment, he bowed deeply to Ling Xiao, and his expression was very sincere. He was a late-stage heavenly god, and the 3 girls behind him were all mid-stage heavenly gods as well. They were all beautiful, but they seemed rather cold. I'm Long Outyen from Aries College. These 4 are my juniors. We didn't expect to meet you at Celestial Wolf Mountain. You don't have to be so courteous. Ling Xiao smiled at the man in white robes before introducing Xian Wang and the rest. As the 2 sides exchanged greetings, Ling Xiao also learned about the identities of the man and 3 women. The man in white robes was called Fang Chong, and the 3 women were called Ming Jing, Ming Xian, and Ming Yu. They were all disciples of the Imperial Academy. The 4 of them were also here to hunt demons, but they didn't expect to fall into the trap of the black demon bug and be trapped by the demonic lines. If Ling Xiao and the rest hadn't saved them, they wouldn't have been able to hold on for long. Junior brother Long, do you know where Lang Shan from the demonic wolf clan went? Fang Chong suddenly smiled and asked. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Oh. Senior brother Fang, do you know? Fang Chong nodded. That's right. I heard from the demonic wolf clan that Lang Shan and Hu Gun went to the Sky Devil Valley to fight for the Demon Saint's corpse. Sky Devil Valley. Demon Saint's corpse. Ling Xiao's heart skipped a beat. He suddenly remembered the news that the burly man told him in the ancient city. It seemed like the Demon Saint's corpse really existed. That's right. It is the Demon Saint's corpse. Junior brother Long, are you interested? Why don't we work together? As long as we can get the Demon Saint's corpse, the resources we can exchange for will be enough for us to cultivate to the God King realm. Fang Chong looked at Ling Xiao expectantly. Although Long Outyen was only at the middle true God realm, Fang Chong didn't underestimate him. He could feel that Long Outyen's true battle strength wasn't any weaker than his. He was a true peerless genius. Saints were blessed by the heavens and earth, and their entire body was full of treasures. Even a strand of hair was the best refining material, not to mention the flesh, bones, and even the small worlds of the saints were supreme treasures. Senior Brother Fong, have you been to the Sky Devil Valley? I heard that the demon saint's corpse in the Sky Devil Valley is guarded by a God King realm demonic beast. There are even demon God Kings coveting the demon saint's corpse. I'm afraid it won't be easy for us to get the demon saint's corpse, right? Ling Xiao glanced at Fang Chong and smiled. Fang Chong nodded and said, Junior Brother Long is right. The Sky Devil Valley is indeed filled with danger, but aren't cultivators like us fighting against the heavens and defying the heavens? A demon saint's corpse is a supreme treasure. As long as we plan carefully, we still have a chance to get it. Ling Xiao thought for a while and said, I still need to think about this matter. Senior Brother Fong, 3 senior sisters, you should hurry up and heal your injuries. The demon saint's corpse was of great importance, but it was worth the risk. If they could get their hands on a demon saint's corpse, Ling Xiao wouldn't be lacking in the energy of the Flowing Time Temple. A demon saint's corpse could allow Ling Xiao to cultivate in the Flowing Time Temple for at least 100 years. What Ling Xiao lacked the most now was time. He needed to establish a firm foothold in the divine world before the 100 years were up. He needed to have enough strength to protect himself, and only then could he take the next step to protect his family and friends. The experts of the demonic wolf clan in the Celestial Wolf Mountain Range were quickly eliminated. All the demonic crystals in the bodies of the demonic wolves were dug out. The harvest this time was even greater than the one in the demonic tiger clan. After careful calculation, they had at least earned over 5,000 contribution points. They had only been in the divine devil space for a day or two, but they had already made such a huge harvest. Xian Wang and the others were also very excited. Ling Xiao used the excuse of needing to go into seclusion to find a secret chamber in the demonic wolf clan and laid down several layers of restrictions and arrays. Ling Xiao took a deep breath, and a complicated look appeared in his eyes. No matter what, it was time to face Jin Sei. But, did Jin Sei still recognize him? P.S. We still have to work overtime tonight. There are only 3 chapters left for today. Everyone, rest early. Chapter 1333. Ling Xiao didn't let Jin Sei out immediately. Instead, he entered the Void Temple and turned the wordless heavenly book into a speck of dust. Only then did he enter the wordless heavenly book without worry. After all, there were many experts above the sage realm who were paying attention to the whereabouts of the wordless heavenly book. Ling Xiao didn't dare to casually reveal the wordless heavenly book. He felt more at ease in the Void Temple. Ever since he broke through to the divine spirit realm, although he still couldn't fully control the wordless heavenly book, he could already use some of its effects. The wordless heavenly book formed a world of its own. Jin Sei's red dress fluttered in the wind. Her white hair fluttered in the wind. Her face was indifferent. A butterfly with 9 colors of light circled around her. She wandered freely in this unfamiliar world. Buzz! A light flashed in the void and Ling Xiao appeared in front of Jin Sei. Jin Sei, do you still recognize me? Ling Xiao looked at Jin Sei with a hint of nervousness in his eyes. His heart was incomparably nervous. Jin Sei stared at Ling Xiao. Her eyes were filled with confusion and indifference. After a while, she shook her head and said, I don't recognize you. Who are you? Why did you call me Jin Sei? Where is this place? Why am I here? Jin Sei's words were very cold. They exuded a coldness that kept people at 1,000 miles away. Ling Xiao's heart ached. Although he had expected this, he was still incomparably disappointed. Jin Sei, you still don't remember me. Ling Xiao sighed and said slowly, it's a long story. Let me tell you slowly. We both came from the longevity sect of the God of War realm. 10,000 years ago, Ling Xiao's voice was very low and slow. He started from how the two of them met 10,000 years ago, all the way to how Ling Xiao found Jin Se 10,000 years later, how Jin Se was poisoned by the seven souls dissipating soul light, and how Jin Se lost her memories and was cleansed by the supreme emotion forgetting water. The current Jin Se was like a blank piece of paper. Although her cultivation hadn't changed and was still at the early divine spirit realm, she had forgotten everything. After seeing Ling Xiao, the divine sky-mend butterfly seemed very happy and excited. It danced around Ling Xiao. When Ling Xiao gave it the black demon bug he just obtained, the divine sky-mend butterfly became even happier. Ling Xiao told Jin Se everything that had happened. After listening to Ling Xiao's story, Jin Se's expression was still as cold as ever. There was a slight ripple in her eyes, but she quickly regained her composure. Jinse, I'm not lying at all. I can open up the memories of my primordial spirit and let you check them. That way, you will know everything. Ling Xiao said seriously to Jin Se. Afterwards, he opened up the sea of memories in his soul and allowed Jin Se to search. Jin Se thought about it and shook her head. No need, I believe you. From today onwards, my name is Jin Se. But before I regain all my memories, I'm afraid I won't be able to treat you like before. I hope you can understand. Ling Xiao smiled, as happy as a child. No problem. Jin Se, you've waited for me for 10,000 years. Now let me wait for you. I'll wait until you remember everything. Now, let's get to know each other again. Hello, I'm Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao smiled. Jin Se hesitated for a moment, then nodded lightly. Hello, I'm Jin Se. She had a cold personality, and the Ling Xiao in front of her was like a stranger to her. However, she also had a feeling that they had known each other before. That strange familiarity gave her a strange feeling in her heart. Ling Xiao smiled. Jin Se, how about this? When you return to the mythical space with me, I'll tell you that you're a friend of mine. You can come with me to Aries College temporarily. Then, I'll think of a way to let you join the Taishang Dao Palace. All right. Jin Se nodded calmly. Ling Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. Although Jin Se had lost all her memories, it was fine as long as Jin Se was by her side. He also believed in the emperor's words. The Taishang Dao scripture would definitely help Jin Se regain her memories. Ling Xiao could feel that Jin Se seemed to be in a state of absolute indifference at all times. The emperor had also said that Jin Se had the legendary Taishang Daoist body. She was a peerless genius of the Taishang Daoist palace that only appeared once every 10,000 years. She was most suited to cultivate the Taishang Daoist scripture. However, Ling Xiao still needed to think carefully about how to let Jin Se safely join the Taishang Dao palace. He had to ensure that nothing went wrong. Ling Xiao brought Jin Se out of the wordless book world and returned to the mythical space through the heart realm. The secret room Ling Xiao chose was very cheap. He did not tell Fang Chong, Xian Wang, and the others. Therefore, when Ling Xiao returned from the celestial wolf mountain with a beautiful woman in a red dress and white hair, everyone was extremely surprised. Junior sister Ji, please keep this a secret. Among everyone, only Ji Feishuan recognized Jin Se. The others were very curious. Ling Xiao explained to Ji Feishuan through telepathy, and Ji Feishuan nodded tacitly. Everyone, let me introduce you. This is my friend, Jin Se. She came to the mythical space with the elders of her family. However, due to some reasons, she will be working with us in the future. Ling Xiao introduced her to Fang Chong, Yi Liangchen, and the others. Good friend? Big brother, could this be sister-in-law? She is indeed a peerless beauty. She has an extraordinary temperament. Brother, you have good taste. Yi Liangchen's eyes lit up as he winked at Ling Xiao. Get lost. You talk too much. Ling Xiao glared at him and said angrily. Jin Se's face was cold. She nodded slightly at everyone without saying anything. Although everyone was very curious about the relationship between Jin Se and Ling Xiao, they knew better than to ask too much. Junior brother Long, have you thought about it? That is the corpse of the great demon saint. There might even be the inheritance of the great demon saint. It doesn't matter if we can get it or not, we can't let it fall into the hands of the demon race. Feng Chong said to Ling Xiao. All right. Senior brother Feng, I agree. Let's go to the Heavenly Devil Valley together. Ling Xiao said with a smile. His eyes shone with a bright light. When he was in the Great Void Temple, he asked Uncle Su about it. A great demon saint's corpse contained a vast amount of energy. It was enough to keep the Flowing Time Temple open for a long time. If Ling Xiao could get his hands on the great demon saint's corpse, he would have more time to cultivate. With a time acceleration of 30 times, Ling Xiao was confident that he could become a sage within 100 years. In the divine world, only those who had attained the Tao and become a sage could be considered a big shot. Otherwise, under the sage realm, even a divine king was just an ant. Chapter 1334. Ling Xiao, Feng Chong, and the others left the Celestial Wolf Mountain and headed towards the Heavenly Devil Valley. The Heavenly Devil Valley was actually a huge abyss that covered an area of tens of thousands of miles. It was shrouded in fiend god Qi all year round. Not only were there all kinds of ferocious and powerful demonic beasts, but there were also many demons gathered there. Therefore, few people would come to the Heavenly Devil Valley to hunt demons. However, ever since the news of the demon saint's corpse in the Heavenly Devil Valley spread, more and more human experts came to the Heavenly Devil Valley in hopes of obtaining the demon saint's corpse and inheritance. However, the demon saint's corpse was located in the deepest part of the Heavenly Devil Valley. It was covered by an extremely powerful ancient formation and was guarded by a demonic beast. Therefore, many people only wandered around the periphery, trying to find a way to enter the ancient formation. Over the past few days, many battles had broken out between the human and demon experts, and both sides suffered casualties. However, as the ancient formation was about to open, the experts of both races restrained themselves and prepared to fight for the demon saint's corpse. Boom! On top of a black mountain, there was a dazzling light and purple lightning lingering around it. A huge spatial gate had appeared. A figure in a purple robe walked out of the spatial gate, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. It was a young man in a purple robe. He had a slender figure and a jade-like face. There seemed to be purple lightning flashing in his eyes, making him look majestic and mysterious. There were already dozens of figures with powerful auras on top of the mountain. They were all in the true God realm and celestial God realm. They were all disciples of the Great Zhou Academy, and Wang Chong was among them. When the young man in purple robe appeared, the eyes of all the disciples revealed a hint of fanaticism as they bowed in unison. Greetings, senior brother. The young man in purple robe was the strongest of this generation of the Great Zhou Academy, Ji Yuanlong. He was in the great circle of the celestial God realm, but his aura was as vast as the ocean, far surpassing the celestial God realm. He was not much weaker than a God King realm expert. It was rumored in the Great Zhou Academy that senior brother Ji Yuanlong could have broken through to the God King realm long ago, but he had been suppressing his cultivation in order to cultivate a peerless technique. Although he was only in the great circle of the celestial God realm, he had killed more than one God King. Ji Yuanlong had already caught the eye of a saint-old ancestor of the 9 imperial gates, and he would become a direct disciple immediately after he entered the gates. Get up! How's the situation in Sky Devil Valley? Ji Yuanlong glanced at the crowd and said. Reporting to eldest senior brother, there are many experts gathered in the Heavenly Devil Valley. Tiger Gun, Lang Shan, and Ing Ju of the Devil Clan have arrived with their experts. It is said that a saint-level Devil Clan will arrive soon. Wang Chong immediately stepped forward and respectfully reported. Saint-level demons? Very good. As long as I kill this saint-level demon, my divine firmament Dragon King transformation will be complete. Keep a close eye on the devil race. Inform me immediately if there is any news about a saint devil race. A sharp glint flashed across Ji Yuanlong's eyes as he spoke indifferently. Yes. Eldest senior brother, other than the demons, we have also found traces of the Heroes Alliance. Wang Chong was a little hesitant, but he still reported. Hero Alliance? They were just a bunch of vicious criminals. How dare they call themselves the Hero Alliance? Do you know who came from the Hero Alliance? Ji Yuanlong's eyes revealed a trace of disdain. In the divine world, there were many abandoned disciples and criminals who fled to the mythical space after being hunted down. Most of them gathered in the Hero Alliance. The various sacred grounds had sent experts to hunt down the Hero Alliance, but the Hero Alliance's base was extremely secretive. In addition, it was rumored that the leader of the Hero Alliance was a saint. Thus, the sacred grounds could not do anything to the Hero Alliance. Although the mythical space rejected saints, that saint had relied on a supreme treasure to make a name for himself in the mythical space. He had even stirred up trouble in the divine world. The saints of the various sacred grounds had set up traps several times, but he had escaped each time. It is said that the Sword Saint came from the Hero Alliance. Wang Chong replied. Sword Saint? When did the Hero Alliance have a Sword Saint? Ji Yuanlong's expression changed slightly. Could it be that this was also a saint-level expert? Even if he was only a half-saint, his true strength far surpassed that of a god-king expert. However, in the mythical space, even if a saint concealed his aura, he would only be able to exert the strength of a god-king at most. I'm not sure. It is said that he just joined the Hero Alliance. Although he is only a celestial god, he has already comprehended the sword of Saint Tao. His strength is extremely terrifying. He once killed a god king and is now considered the future leader of the Hero Alliance. Wang Chong reported. A mere celestial god dares to call himself a sword saint. The Hero Alliance is indeed a bunch of lunatics. Pay attention to his whereabouts. Did the other 4 academies send anyone? Ji Yuanlong asked indifferently. I haven't found any traces of the other 4 academies yet. Wang Chong replied honestly. Very good. Disperse for now and wait for the Heavenly Devil Valley to open. Ji Yuanlong's eyes flashed. He leaped up and flew toward the Heavenly Devil Valley. After several days of travel, Ling Xiao and Fang Chong finally arrived at the Heavenly Devil Valley. In the past few days, they had been ambushed and attacked by the demons several times. However, they had calmly dealt with them. In the end, the demons were turned into demon crystals that could be exchanged for contribution points. Ling Xiao had refined 10 drops of the sacred liquid in the milky white crystal, and his cultivation had finally broken through to late-stage true god realm. There were still 9 drops of sacred liquid left in the crystal, which was not enough for Ling Xiao to continue breaking through. He had wanted to give the sacred liquid to Jin's first, but Jin's had refused. Ling Xiao discovered that Jin's was able to extract energy from the void. Her aura was getting stronger almost every day. This peerless talent made Ling Xiao sigh in amazement. Junior brother Long, our academy's senior sister Qinglian has arrived. Fang Chang's eyes lit up with joy when he received this news. Senior sister Qinglian? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He had heard of Qinglian from the Imperial Academy. Qinglian was the #1 person in the Imperial Academy, the eldest senior sister of all the disciples. Her talent was unparalleled, and she was especially proficient in swordsmanship. It was rumored that she had already cultivated the Green Lotus sword force. She was a peerless sword cultivator. As soon as Fang Chang's voice fell, a green sword light came from the void in the distance. Sword chi rose, revealing a few peerless figures. They instantly landed in front of Ling Xiao and the others. The leader was a woman in a green dress. She was extremely beautiful, and her skin was whiter than snow. However, her temperament was extremely cold. She carried an ancient sword on her back, and her body exuded a sharp sword chi fluctuation. One look at her would send chills down one's spine. Her eyes were like swords, extremely sharp. Ling Xiao felt an extreme love for the sword from her. Behind her were 4 beautiful women in white robes. They also carried ancient swords on their backs. Their temperaments were ice cold. They were all late-stage heavenly gods. Chapter 1335. Greetings, great senior sister. Fang Chong hurriedly brought his 3 junior sisters to greet her. Greetings, senior sister Qinglian. Ling Xiao, Yi Liangchen, and the rest also bowed to Qinglian. Although the 5 great colleges were of the same branch, Aries College and Imperial College were relatively closer to each other. As for Tyrant, De Zhou, and Heaven's Sword, these 3 colleges Overlord and Tyrant belonged to the 9 Imperial Gates and were closer to each other. Are you guys from Aries College? Is Big Dipper here? Qinglian looked at Ling Xiao and the rest and asked. We didn't see Senior Big Dipper. We came by ourselves. Ling Xiao smiled. Nonsense. Qinglian said coldly, the Heavenly Devil Valley is filled with demons. The demon race, the Heroes Union, and the Great Zhou College have all sent experts here. I'm afraid even the God King Realm experts will appear. Entering the Heavenly Devil Valley with your cultivation is simply courting death. Now that Sky Devil Valley hasn't opened yet, you guys better go back quickly. Although Qinglian's words were tough, Ling Xiao could still hear the concern in her voice. Ling Xiao smiled and said, Senior Sister Qinglian, don't worry. We can protect ourselves. The main purpose of our trip to Sky Devil Valley is to kill the demons. We won't participate in the fight for the Great Demon Saint's corpse. That won't do. You. What's your name? Qinglian still wanted to say something, but when her gaze fell on Jin Sei, she suddenly revealed a trace of shock. Senior Sister Qinglian, she is my friend. Her name is Jin Sei. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he replied. Jin Sei. You are. Qinglian's eyes revealed a trace of excitement, but the words that were about to come out of her mouth immediately stopped. She instantly rushed over and grabbed Jin Sei's arm. Under Ling Zhao's signal, Jin Sei didn't resist. Qinglian's fingertip sent a strand of divine power into Jin Sei's body. Her face was filled with joy. It was indeed the Supreme Taoist body. The Supreme Taoist body was the most suitable body for the Supreme Taoist Palace's martial arts. To the Supreme Taoist Palace, it was much more important than the legendary divine body or sage body. Every generation's sect master of the most supreme Tao Palace had the most supreme Tao body, and only those with the most supreme Tao body could cultivate the most supreme Tao scripture to the extreme. It was just that the Supreme Taoist body was too rare. The Supreme Taoist Palace often searched the entire God realm, but it was difficult to find someone with the Supreme Taoist body. Therefore, many elders and disciples of the Taishang Dao Palace had ways to search for the Taishang Dao body. As long as they could find someone with the Taishang Dao body, they would definitely receive extremely precious rewards. Take Qinglian for example. If she were to tell the people of the Taishang Holy Ji Palace about this, she would probably become a true disciple immediately. The news of the great supreme Taoist physique was too important, so she didn't mention it at all. Fang Chong and the others looked at Qinglian curiously. They didn't know what senior sister Qinglian had discovered to make her so excited and lose her composure. Ling Zhao's heart skipped a beat. He guessed that Fang Chong had probably discovered the secret of the great supreme Taoist physique. However, this was good news for Ling Xiao. He was originally worried about how to send Jin Sei to the Supreme Taoist Palace naturally without arousing suspicion. Now that Qinglian had discovered that Jin Sei had the Supreme Taoist physique, she would definitely think of ways to take her into the Supreme Taoist Palace. Junior sister, aren't you a disciple of the Aries College? Are you willing to join the Imperial Academy? Qinglian smiled faintly at Jin Sei. Jin Sei glanced at Ling Xiao, and Ling Xiao immediately replied, Senior sister Qinglian, Jin Sei originally wanted to enter the Imperial Academy through the Great Void Trial, but she was delayed by something, so she missed the Great Void Trial. If she could enter the Imperial Academy, she would naturally be more than willing. That's great. Junior brother Long, junior sister Jin Sei can follow me for the next few days. I will protect her. Qinglian smiled faintly at Ling Xiao, but her voice was filled with an undeniable tone. She had already thought of a way to inform the Imperial Academy's principal, Lu Shuling. Presumably, Lu Shuling would immediately contact the Supreme Taoist Palace, and soon, there would be experts from the Supreme Taoist Palace directly descending into the mythical space. During this period, the only thing she had to do was to protect Jin Se. Although the Great Devil Saint's corpse was important, compared to Jin Se, it was not worth mentioning. All right. Then I will have to trouble senior sister Qinglian. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and agreed on behalf of Jin Se. Jin Se looked at Ling Xiao calmly and didn't say anything. Instead, she stood beside Qinglian. Boom! At this moment, a loud sound suddenly came from the Sky Devil Valley, like the rumbling of thunder, and countless amounts of demonic qi instantly rose into the sky. The devil qi turned into a huge black vortex in the void, and many ancient and mysterious runes and characters could be vaguely seen. The Sky Devil Valley has opened, everyone, charge! Someone exclaimed, and suddenly, countless powerful figures from all directions rushed into the depths of the Sky Devil Valley. Let's go and take a look. Even if we can't get the Great Devil Saint's corpse, we can't let it fall into the hands of the demonic clan. Qinglian's eyes flashed sharply, and the ancient green sword behind her back was unsheathed. Rays of sword light separated, and in an instant, Ling Xiao and the others were surrounded, and at the same time, shot into the depths of the Sky Devil Valley. In the depths of the Sky Devil Valley, endless demonic light flickered as a black altar appeared. On top of it sat an old man in a black robe. He looked very similar to a human. Other than his blue pupils and a mysterious rune between his eyebrows, he looked no different from a human. Sitting on the altar, he looked very lifelike, and his whole body exuded a powerful aura. If not for the death qi surrounding him, people would have thought that the Great Devil Saint had come back to life. That's right, this old man in a black robe was the Great Devil Saint's corpse. Below the altar, there was a huge black snake as thick as a bucket. It was hundreds of feet long, and its body was covered in black scales that shone with a cold light. There was a sarcoma on the top of its head, and its eyes were blood red and cruel. Its tongue flicked in and out of its mouth as it stared at the people in front of it. This huge black snake was the demonic beast guarding the Great Devil Saint's corpse, and it had the combat strength of a divine king. At this moment, the ancient array that enveloped them was broken, and the Great Devil Saint's corpse and the huge black snake appeared in front of them. There were 3 demonic clan experts closest to the altar. One of them had the head of a tiger, the other had the head of a wolf, and the last one had the head of an eagle. All of them were in the great circle of the heavenly god realm, and they were staring at the people in front of them. They were Hu Gun from the Tiger Demon clan, Lang Shan from the Demonic Wolf clan, and Ing Ju from the Shadow Devil clan. P.S. Third update, please rest early. Chapter 1336. Demonic Qi filled the Heavenly Devil Valley. Roar! A loud roar shook the void like thunder. Everyone could vaguely see the figure of a giant black snake that was over 100 feet long emerging from the shroud of demonic qi. Its eyes were blood red, and its body was surrounded by a murderous aura. It coiled around the altar and stared at the many demon race and human race experts outside the valley. Welcome, Lord of the Sacred Clan. Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ing Ju knelt down at the same time. Their eyes were filled with reverence. In front of them, the void shook, and a strange spatial door opened in an instant. A powerful figure stepped out of the spatial door, exuding a monstrous demonic qi. It was extremely evil and terrifying. It was a young man in black armor. He looked very similar to a human, but his eyes were blue, and he had long blue hair that surged like lightning. His blue eyes seemed to contain a whirlpool that could suck a person's primordial spirit into it. Is he from the Heavenly Devil clan? Qinglian stared at the young man in black armor and said slowly. The Heavenly Devil clan was a saint-level demon clan. They were far more powerful than low-level, mid-level, and high-level demons. Their status in the demon world was equivalent to the immortal sacred grounds in the divine world. They were extremely powerful. This young man from the Heavenly Devil clan was equivalent to a disciple of an immortal sacred ground. Although his cultivation was only at the complete devil realm, which was equivalent to the complete heavenly god realm, his aura was extremely terrifying. Even Qinglian felt a strong sense of danger. It's really lively here. Are the people from the Hero Alliance, Grand Supreme Academy, and Great Zhou Academy all here? Since you're here, leave your lives behind. The young man from the Heavenly Devil clan glanced at the people from the Hero Alliance, Ji Yuanlong, and Qinglian. His expression was indifferent as he looked down at the crowd. Arrogant. So what if he's from the Heavenly Devil clan? These demon bastards must be tired of living. Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian are both here. Let's kill all of these demon bastards today. Hee, the great demon saint's corpse is ours. The lives of these demon bastards are also ours. Many human race experts were filled with righteous indignation as they cursed at the Heavenly Fiend clan youth. There were only a few dozen devil race experts here, and the strongest were the Heavenly Devil race youth, Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ying Ju. However, there were over 1,000 human race experts, and among them were supreme experts like Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian. You're courting death. Murderous intent flashed in the eyes of the Heavenly Fiend race youth. Instantly, 7-colored divine light shot out from his eyes. It turned into several terrifying rays of light and shot into the glabella of the few humans who had just spoken. Rumble. It was as if the 7-colored divine spear had pierced through their foreheads. Their foreheads were shattered, and blood filled the air. Even their primordial spirits screamed as they were enveloped by the 7-colored divine light. They were instantly reduced to nothingness. This is the 7 souls dispersing light. Ling Zhao's body trembled, and his gaze instantly became extremely sharp. The 7-soul dispersal light was one of the most powerful abilities of the Sky Fiend clan. If it wasn't for the Sky Fiend clan, Jin Se wouldn't have ended up in this state. Seeing the Sky Fiend clan's youth torturing the human race so unscrupulously, a trace of burning killing intent arose in Ling Zhao's heart. Junior brother Long also recognizes the 7 souls dispersing light. The 7 souls dispersing light is the innate divine powers of the Heavenly Fiend race. It is extremely vicious. It directly attacks the primordial spirit and disperses the soul. Everyone must be careful. Qinglian looked at Ling Zhao in surprise before instructing the rest of the group. Jin Se also looked at the Heavenly Fiend race youth with a strange look in her eyes. Junior sister Qinglian, this guy from the Heavenly Fiend race is too arrogant. How about we get rid of them first, and then we will think about fighting for the great demon saint's corpse. Ji Yuanlong suddenly transmitted his voice to Qinglian. All right. Qinglian thought for a moment and agreed. Ants of the human race, if you are not afraid of death, then come in. After the Heavenly Fiend race youth killed a few humans with the 7 souls dispersing light, he sneered and led Hu Gun, Lang Shan, Ying Ju, and the others directly into the Heavenly Fiend Valley. Boom! The Heavenly Fiend Valley was filled with dense demonic chi. Although the giant black snake looked extremely ferocious, it did not attack the Heavenly Fiend race youth and the others. The Heavenly Fiend race youth muttered something, and black runes flew out from his body. Then, the glabella of the giant black snake lit up, and a golden rune on it became dazzling. The giant black snake actually allowed the Heavenly Fiend race youth to stand on its head. No one had expected such a change. The Heavenly Fiend race youth could actually control the giant black snake. Could the great demon saint be the great demon saint of the Heavenly Fiend race? After thinking of a certain possibility, the expressions of the human race experts suddenly changed. Junior sister Qinglian, the situation has changed. Let's attack together. We must not let the Heavenly Fiend race obtain the great demon saint's corpse. Ji Yuanlong's eyes revealed a trace of cold killing intent. Boom! Ji Yuanlong's palm shone brightly, and in an instant, a purple gold long spear appeared. It was surrounded by purple lightning and contained an incomparably sharp light. Ji Yuanlong suddenly threw the purple gold long spear into the Heavenly Fiend Valley. Immediately, it turned into a long purple rainbow and shot towards the giant black snake. At the same time, Ji Yuanlong also rushed forward and slapped his palm towards the Heavenly Fiend race youth. Kill! Qinglian's eyes were cold. The ancient sword behind her was unsheathed, and like a cold light illuminating the void, it instantly split into billions of sword chi and shot towards the heavenly fiend valley. Qinglian's clothes fluttered, and the sword aura around her surged, causing the void to shake violently. It was incomparably vast and pure. Under the leadership of Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian, many human race experts rushed towards the heavenly fiend valley. Stop them. We must not let them affect the sacred clan lord's plan. Hu Gun sneered, and his eyes were filled with cruel killing intent. Demonic light rose around his body, and his blood qi surged. He, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju all exploded with the strongest fighting spirit. They led the elite experts of the three clans and charged towards the human race experts. Rumble. A great battle was about to break out. Ji Yuanlong's purple-gold long spear shone brightly, and a layer of purple sacred light flowed around it. This was also a half-saint treasure, and under Ji Yuanlong's control, it had the power to threaten the Divine King realm experts. Roar! The giant black snake's eyes were blood-red, and suddenly, a loud roar erupted from its mouth. It shook the void in all directions, and like a storm, it rushed towards the crowd. At the same time, its huge snake tail whipped towards the purple-gold long spear like a black lightning bolt. The sound of metal colliding rang out, and the purple-gold long spear was instantly sent flying back. Chapter 1337. You overestimate yourself. The young man from the Sky Devil clan sneered and clasped his palms together. Boom! Between his palms, a black divine light suddenly erupted. It was like a huge sky curtain that shrouded the area in front of him. Wang! Ji Yuanlong's expression changed slightly. His purplish-gold spear was invincible, but when it pierced the light screen, it seemed to be blocked by an invisible barrier. Moreover, an unparalleled divine power erupted, and his entire body was instantly repelled. Qinglian's billions of sword qi were also blocked by the black screen and dissipated into nothingness. The young man from the Sky Devil clan actually blocked Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian's attacks at the same time. His powerful strength was evident. Stop them. The young man from the Sky Devil clan said indifferently to the Black Snake, Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju. Then, he turned into a ray of light and flew towards the altar. Damn it! Ji Yuanlong's expression was ugly. He never thought that the young man from the Sky Devil clan would be able to control the demonic beasts guarding the great demon saint's corpse. A divine king demonic beast was enough to pose a great threat to Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian, not to mention the three great demon clan experts who were comparable to Great Circle heavenly gods. Boom! Ji Yuanlong held his purplish gold spear and rushed towards the depths of the Sky Devil Valley. However, the black snake had its eyes fixed on Ji Yuanlong. Demonic qi filled the sky as it spat out a black demonic ball from its mouth and shot towards Ji Yuanlong. Boom! The void trembled violently as the black demonic ball exploded. Ji Yuanlong was enveloped in endless demonic light as streams of fiend god qi rushed into his body. Crackle! Although the Black Snake was a divine king, it was not as if Ji Yuanlong had not killed a divine king before. The Black Snake had completely enraged him, causing him to erupt with all his combat strength. Ji Yuanlong wasn't afraid of the giant Black Snake, but the Heavenly Devil race's young man was already flying towards the Devil Saint's corpse. If this continued, the Devil Saint's corpse would fall into the hands of the Heavenly Devil race's young man. How could he not be anxious? Crack! Purple divine light surged around him. The purple gold spear seemed to have turned into a purple gold divine dragon at this moment. Endless lightning surrounded it as it pounced toward the giant black snake. Ji Yuanlong, on the other hand, suddenly moved and lunged at the heavenly fiend youth on the altar. Where do you think you're going? Tiger Gun let out a furious roar as a tiger's roar erupted from his mouth. At the same time, the two mountain-splitting axes in his hands chopped down at Ji Yuanlong. Get out of my way. Ji Yuanlong's eyes were filled with murderous intent. He punched out, and his fist landed directly on the mountain-splitting axe. A terrifying divine power exploded, causing Hu Gun's body to tremble. "He's tough, let's go together," Hu Gun roared. Immediately, Lang Shan and Ning Ju charged towards Ji Yuanlong. Clang! Sword chi surged. Qinglian wielded her ancient sword and instantly killed a few demon experts. However, the giant black snake was extremely powerful. It quickly struck down the purple gold divine dragon that Ji Yuanlong had transformed into and pounced towards Qinglian. Although the number of demons was small, under the leadership of the giant black snake, Tiger Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju, many human experts were forcefully blocked outside, unable to advance even an inch. "Senior Brother Long, what should we do?" Xian Wang and the others looked at Ling Xiao and asked. "Of course, we'll kill the demons. These are all contribution points. You guys be careful and protect Jinsei. I'll go and see if there's a way to snatch the great devil saint's body." Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said to Xian Wang and the others. Whoosh! He retracted his aura and sneaked into the heavenly devil valley. Now that the giant black snake, Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju had been stopped by Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian, the other demon race warriors were no threat to Ling Xiao. Furthermore, he had 3 silver-ranked warriors with him. If they were caught off guard, they would definitely be able to produce a miraculous effect. As more and more human experts rushed into the valley, Ling Xiao's cultivation was only at the late true immortal realm. He did not attract any attention at all. Hence, he smoothly approached the altar. Ling Xiao suddenly realized that the young man from the heavenly devil race did not leave after snatching the great devil saint's body. Instead, he sat down on the altar with his legs crossed. Boom! As he cut his arm, streams of black blood flowed out and was smeared on the altar. Then, he drew mysterious runes on the altar. The great devil saint's body buzzed and trembled. In an instant, an incomparably terrifying aura burst out from it. At this moment, the entire altar underwent a strange change. As if some mysterious power had awakened, the altar exploded with brilliant light. In an instant, a layer of black mist gushed out and covered the entire area. An evil, ancient, and mysterious aura spread out. It emitted waves that made one's primordial spirit tremble. Bang! 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 It was like a beating heart or the beating of a drum. A mysterious rhythm surged in everyone's heart. It even made them feel as if their blood was boiling. It was as if their entire body was about to combust. Black light lingered on the altar. A black demonic bug flew out and floated on the altar. It emitted an ancient and terrifying wave. The black demonic bug had 4 pairs of wings and 8 wings on its back. It was only a foot long. Its head was ferocious, and it had sharp fangs. Its eyes were blood red. When the young man from the heavenly devil race saw the black demonic bug, his eyes were filled with excitement. It really is the world-etching bug. The old ancestor has suppressed it here for thousands of years. Now, it has finally become a great fortune for me. The young man from the heavenly devil race muttered to himself. His breathing became rapid. Buzz! He formed a seal with both hands. Runes floated up from the altar and imprinted on the world-etching bug. At the same time, the great devil saint's corpse began to emit powerful saint aura that suppressed the world-etching bug. The world-etching bug trembled slightly. Although it was resisting, it was more afraid. It could only allow the black runes to drill into its body. So, his target wasn't the great devil saint's corpse. It was the world-etching bug. Ling Xiao's body trembled. A look of understanding appeared in his eyes. No wonder there was a great devil saint's corpse and an altar here. It was all prepared for the world-etching bug. Of course, this black demonic bug couldn't be called a world-etching bug because a complete world-etching bug would have 12 wings on its back. It could corrode thousands of worlds and was extremely powerful. However, this black demonic bug was different from the defective ones Ling Xiao had encountered before. It had the potential to become a complete world-etching bug. As long as it grew 4 more wings, it would become a true world-etching bug. Chapter 1338. Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian finally felt that something was amiss. They thought that the young man from the Sky Fiend race would snatch the demon saint's corpse, but they did not expect a world-etching insect to appear on the altar. The young man from the Sky Fiend race's real target was the world-etching insect. Thank you for your blessings, ancestor. I, Boji, will inherit your legacy and cultivate the real world-etching insect. The young man from the Sky Fiend race kowtowed respectfully to the demon saint's corpse. Damn it, get out of my way. Ji Yuanlong's eyes were filled with killing intent and his face was ugly. He felt that he had been tricked. Not only did he fail to snatch the demon saint's corpse, he even let Boji obtain the world-etching insect. He instantly felt that something was wrong. When Wang Chong, Fang Chong, and the others saw the world-etching insect, their eyes were filled with fear. Back in the Tiger Demon Clan and Celestial Wolf Mountain, a mere two-winged defective was enough to put them in danger, making them wish they were dead. So how terrifying was this world-eclipsing insect before them? Boom! The purple gold spear in Ji Yuanlong's hand exploded with terrifying divine power. Streaks of purple lightning swept across the area and swept Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju away. They were about to attack Boji, who was on the altar. Don't overestimate yourself. In order to welcome the arrival of my world-etching insect, you should be honored to become its food. Bushuan sneered as a strange light flashed in his eyes. Boom! The world-etching insect's body trembled slightly as its 8 wings flapped in the air. In an instant, a terrifying demonic aura exploded. At the same time, it let out a sharp and terrifying cry. Pft! 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 The terrifying sound wave swept out in all directions. It contained a power fluctuation that could destroy one's soul. The glabella of some of the weaker cultivators instantly exploded. Their primordial spirits were directly reduced to nothingness. They were directly killed by the sound wave. Even Yi Liangchen, Fengye, Yin Tiansong, and the others felt a sharp pain in their glabella. If King Xian had not protected them in time, they would have been severely injured. What a terrifying world-etching insect! Damn it, its cry is so unpleasant. Yi Liangchen opened his eyes wide as he stared at the world-etching insect and Boji on the altar. Whoosh! Whoosh! At that moment, the world-eclipsing bug spat out thousands of black lines from its mouth. The black lines intertwined and intertwined, forming a huge net that enveloped the entire Sky Devil Valley. In an instant, the fiendish chi of the demonic god exploded out. Furthermore, an extremely powerful corrosive power enveloped the crowd. Everyone was horrified to find that the divine power in their bodies was rapidly draining away, as if some mysterious power was eroding their bodies. Even Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian couldn't help but change their expressions, because they also felt the energy in their bodies rapidly depleting. Open! Ji Yuanlong angrily roared. The violet gold divine spear in his hand turned into a 10,000 zhang long divine dragon and soared into the sky, wanting to break through the black net. However, the moment the purple gold divine dragon came into contact with the giant black net, it was instantly annihilated and turned back into a purple gold divine spear, which flew back into Ji Yuanlong's hand. Clang! Green Lotus was also surrounded by sword intent. Her ancient sword soared into the sky, trying to break through the giant black net, but she failed in the end. It's useless. In this inescapable net, there is only one outcome for all of you, and that is death. Boji looked indifferently at the human race experts and said. In just a moment, a few more human race experts were invaded by the fiendish chi of the demonic god and exploded to death. Under Bo Sun's command, the black giant snake, Tiger Gun, Lang Shan, Eagle Ju, and the other demon race experts charged toward Ji Yuanlong and Qinglian. For a moment, the human race experts were in danger. Ling Xiao stood near the altar, surrounded by fierce battles. He stared at Bo Sun and the world-eclipsing bug on the altar with a strange look in his eyes. He still had 3 silver warriors. If he was caught off guard and attacked together, it would be enough to make Boji panic and even force him to retreat. As long as Boji was forced to retreat, Ling Xiao would naturally be able to obtain the great devil saint's body. However, the most important thing was how to deal with the world-eclipsing bug. Ling Xiao felt that the world-eclipsing bug was extremely dangerous. It was incomparable to the defective ones. If he couldn't deal with the world-eclipsing bug, he would be in danger under the combined attacks of the world-eclipsing bug and Boji. Buzz! However, just as Ling Xiao was pondering, a 9-colored light suddenly appeared on the altar. It was so fast that even Boji couldn't react in time. It was a butterfly with 9-colored light flowing around it. Its wings were as thin as silk and looked extremely beautiful. It emitted a mysterious fluctuation as it charged toward the world-eclipsing bug. It was the divine sky-patching butterfly. Ling Xiao was slightly stunned. He didn't expect the divine sky-patching butterfly to charge toward the world-eclipsing bug at this moment. Moreover, the two of them instantly engaged in a fierce battle. The world-eclipsing bug let out an extremely sharp cry with a hint of fear. After all, it was only a defective world-eclipsing bug. When facing the divine sky-patching butterfly, it naturally felt instinctive fear. The world-eclipsing bug suddenly spat out black demonic lines in an attempt to trap the divine sky-patching butterfly. However, the 9-colored light around the divine sky-patching butterfly was extremely mysterious. The black demonic lines immediately dissipated. The divine sky-patching butterfly flapped its wings and a 9-colored divine needle appeared in its mouth. It suddenly pierced toward the world-eclipsing bug. Boji was slightly stunned when he saw this scene on the altar. However, he immediately flew into a rage and slammed his palm toward the divine sky-patching butterfly. Although he didn't recognize the divine sky-patching butterfly, he couldn't tolerate the fact that the divine sky-patching butterfly wanted to destroy his world-eclipsing bug. Good chance. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he instantly soared into the sky. Unparalleled divine power erupted from his body as he punched toward the world-eclipsing bug. The 3 silver-ranked warriors instantly appeared in the void. The terrifying aura around them exploded as 3 silver spears pierced through the void and pierced toward Boji's vital points. Bastard, who are you? Bushuan was shocked and angry. Demonic chi surged around him as a black saber appeared in his hand. He suddenly slashed toward the 3 silver-ranked warriors in front of him. Boom! The void trembled as the silver spears and the black sabers collided and exploded with resplendent light. However, because Boji had acted hastily, the silver-ranked warriors were indestructible and had divine power. They directly sent Bushuan flying. Bang! Ling Xiao also punched the world-eclipsing bug. At the same time, a powerful devouring divine power was injected into the world-eclipsing bug's body. The world-eclipsing bug's body trembled violently. The devouring divine power was like adding oil to a fire. Instantly, an incomparably chaotic energy exploded within the world-eclipsing bug's body. Chapter 1339. Boom! The world-etching insect screamed as a strange sound wave radiated in all directions. It contained an extremely powerful primordial spirit attack. The surrounding people were caught off guard and felt dizzy as they felt a sharp pain in their glabella. After the devouring divine power entered the world-etching insect's body, it began to devour the divine power within the world-etching insect and grew stronger. The world-etching insect trembled violently as its 8 wings flapped, emitting a powerful spatial power. It instantly broke through the void and tried to dodge the divine sky-patching butterfly's attack. Buzz! The divine sky-patching butterfly was faster than it. Beams of 9-colored divine light wrapped around the world-etching insect like divine chains of order. Even the spatial power could not stop it. In an instant, the world-etching insect was entangled and pulled toward the divine sky-patching butterfly. You're courting death. Boji was shocked and enraged when he saw this. His eyes were filled with cold killing intent. He had spent a lot of effort to obtain this world-etching insect. As long as the world-etching insect could reach perfection in the future, it would be a great help to him. He would kill any god or devil that stood in his way. Although he did not recognize the divine sky-patching butterfly, he could feel that it was a great threat to the world-etching insect. Whoosh! 7-colored divine light flashed in Boji's eyes as it pierced through the void and shot toward the divine sky-patching butterfly. The 7-soul dispersal light was activated again. Stop him! Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he ordered the 3 silver-ranked warriors to attack Boji. The silver-ranked warriors did not know pain and were fearless of death. Their bodies were invulnerable. Although they did not know any martial arts, their attacks were extremely sharp and had strong battle instincts. The 3 silver spears were aimed at Boji's vital points. Clang! Boji's eyes flashed fiercely as he chopped down with his palm and collided with the silver spears. There was a burst of bright light. Then, he swept his leg and swept the 3 silver-ranked warriors away. Rumble! Boji's body exuded an ancient, mysterious, and terrifying aura. Demonic light gushed out and formed a terrifying demonic realm behind him. Endless demonic chi was attracted to him as he punched at the divine sky-patching butterfly. The punch was extremely terrifying and contained a mysterious power that could annihilate the void. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed. Clang! At this moment, a snow-white sword light was unsheathed. To be exact, it was the light of a blade. Ling Zhao used the Xian Kun sword to display the 7 styles of judgment. The Xian Kun sword was a flawless holy treasure. It contained a vast amount of holy aura. Under Ling Zhao's control, it instantly absorbed all the divine power in his body. Then, it turned into a sword radiance that split the heavens and the earth. It was as if the heavenly emperor was judging all living beings. It slashed towards Boji. This slash was extremely fast, and Ling Zhao could be said to have reached Boji first despite making a move later. Holy treasure! A trace of shock appeared in Boji's eyes. A flawless holy treasure was extremely precious. Because his cultivation was not high enough, he only had a half-step holy treasure in his hand. However, this sword actually made him feel a strong threat. Rumble! Boji clenched his teeth and immediately activated the vast devil realm behind him. Figures of devil kings appeared as though they were surrounding him and worshipping him. His fist became increasingly dark and terrifying. Finally, it abruptly collided with the saber light. Kacha! The void trembled as the saber light and the fist print exploded. It was as if a small sun had exploded, setting off a divine light storm. Ling Zhao felt his arm go numb. The Xian Kun sword flew back and landed in his hand. It had even injured his internal organs. That was the backlash of the holy power. Even though his physical body was unparalleled, he still suffered some injuries. On the other hand, Boji was sent flying by Ling Zhao's slash. The devil light around his body dissipated, and a deep wound appeared on his fist radiance. His face was extremely ugly. If he had not used a forbidden move in his last punch, Ling Zhao's slash would have destroyed one of his limbs. "Ant, how dare you injure me? Leave the sword in your hand behind." Boji's eyes revealed a trace of cold killing intent. At the same time, he also looked at the Xian Kun sword in Ling Zhao's hand. Swoosh! Swoosh! However, at the same time, the 3 silver-tier warriors charged towards Boji without any fear of death. They surrounded Boji and kept attacking his vital parts. Boji was unable to break free from the encirclement. All he could do was to roar in anger. At this moment, the world-etching insect was completely trapped by the divine butterfly. A 9-colored divine needle emerged from the divine butterfly and pierced the world-etching insect. Chirp! The world-etching insect let out an extremely shrill cry. However, it could not move at all. The 9-colored divine needle seemed to be devouring its life essence. The world-etching insect actually began to wither at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the end, the world-etching insect turned into a pile of ashes and scattered with the wind. No! Boji's eyes instantly turned blood red. He let out a roar of unwillingness and anger. His entire body emitted a terrifying devil light. His aura also increased in an instant. He directly blasted the 3 silver-ranked warriors away. Then, he slammed his palm towards the divine butterfly. Wang! The divine butterfly flapped its wings and a 9-colored mist spread around its body. Threads intertwined and formed a 9-colored cocoon around its body, enveloping it completely. When Boji's palm landed on the cocoon formed by the divine butterfly, his entire body trembled violently. Then, as if he was struck by an unparalleled divine force, he was instantly sent flying backwards. A strange fluctuation was emitted from the divine butterfly's body. There seemed to be a celestial melody floating around, mysterious and unfathomable. Is it going to evolve again? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Previously, the divine butterfly was only in its infant stage. Now that it had swallowed the defective world-etching insect, was it going to evolve into its adult stage? Just the divine sky-mend butterfly in its infancy was already so terrifying. Once it evolved again, just how strong would it be? Ling Xiao's heart was filled with anticipation. Rumble. As the world-etching insect was swallowed by the divine butterfly, the black net that originally enveloped Sky Devil Valley completely dissipated. The suppressive threat in everyone's hearts disappeared. Everyone couldn't help but feel relieved. Whoosh! Ji Yuanlong's eyes flashed with a sharp light. The purple-gold spear in his hand repelled Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju, who were charging towards him. He turned into a bolt of purple lightning and shot towards the altar in an instant. After the world-etching insect died, the Devil Saint's corpse finally became an ownerless object. Ji Yuanlong wanted to snatch the Devil Saint's corpse first. Chapter 1340. A light flashed in Ling Xiao's palm as he kept the Demon Saint's corpse into the wordless heavenly book. The Demon Saint's corpse contained the power of the Holy Path. Normal divine weapons and half-step holy treasures were unable to contain the Demon Saint's corpse. Only complete holy treasures could. Only the wordless heavenly book could contain the Demon Saint's corpse. Everyone's target was the Demon Saint's corpse. Only by keeping the Demon Saint's corpse would they be safe. Hand over the Demon Saint's corpse. When Ji Yuanlong saw that a mere late true God realm brat had actually kept the Devil Saint's corpse, his face turned cold and he shouted angrily. At the same time, he was extremely shocked. To be able to keep the Demon Saint's corpse meant that this kid from Ares College must have a complete spatial holy treasure on him. One had to know that the Xian Kun sword in Ling Xiao's hand had already attracted the attention of countless people. In addition, he had a spatial holy treasure on him. This meant that this kid had 2 complete holy treasures on him. Even Ji Yuanlong's eyes revealed a trace of greed. I was the one who obtained the Demon Saint's corpse. I'm afraid this senior brother is too late. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he said calmly. Junior brother, the Demon Saint's corpse is not something you can take away. Hand it over to me. Whether it's God stones or God crystals, I can satisfy you. Ji Yuanlong's eyes were cold as he stared at Ling Xiao. I'm sorry, but there's no reason for me to hand over something that's already in my hands. Senior brother, if I hadn't gotten rid of the world-etching bugs, I'm afraid you would still be trapped in the black net. Aren't you repaying kindness with enmity by doing this? Ling Xiao said indifferently. His expression was extremely calm. You think you can get rid of the world-etching bugs? You overestimate yourself. Since you don't know how to appreciate kindness, don't blame me for being impolite. Ji Yuanlong's eyes flashed with killing intent as he slammed his palm down on Ling Xiao. You despicable humans. You killed my world-etching bugs. You all have to die. Boji's eyes were spitting fire, filled with intense killing intent. He hated Ling Xiao to the extreme. If it weren't for Ling Xiao and the divine butterfly, his world-etching bugs wouldn't have died. He suddenly exploded with an unparalleled demonic light, causing the 3 silver-tier warriors to retreat. Then, he summoned the black giant snake to attack the 3 silver-tier warriors while he himself charged towards Ling Xiao. Ji Yuanlong wanted to snatch the Demon Saint's corpse, and Bo Jia wanted to kill Ling Xiao. The two experts of the human race and the demon race actually attacked Ling Xiao at the same time. Ling Xiao was about to fall into a dangerous situation. When Qingyan saw this scene, her gaze immediately turned cold. She shouted at Ji Yuanlong, dealing with the devil race is more important. Could it be that you want your loved ones to suffer and your enemies to be happy? At this moment, she was being blocked by Hu Gun, Lang Shan, and Ning Ju. Although her battle prowess was extremely strong and she had already suppressed these three great demon clan experts, she was still unable to break free. Green Lotus' voice reverberated in the void, but Ji Yuanlong acted as if he hadn't heard anything. Rumble. A sharp light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. He instantly swallowed the 2 drops of saint liquid in his mouth. The majestic divine energy that was originally depleted was once again replenished. The Xian Kun sword once again became dazzling, and a powerful Saint Path sword intent erupted. Streaks of black divine light surged violently, and a black ocean seemed to appear behind Ling Xiao. The Xian Kun sword soared into the sky, and with a monstrous wave, it slashed towards Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie. Kill! Ji Yuanlong's gaze was gloomy. The purple gold divine spear in his hand pierced through the void, and streaks of purple lightning exploded in the void, colliding with the Xian Kun sword in front of him. Rumble. The blazing light was dazzling. This strike of the Xian Kun sword was incomparably terrifying. Although Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie both exploded with extremely powerful strength, they were still repelled by this strike. Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of helplessness. It was a pity that his cultivation base was still a little weak, and he could only rely on the power of the Xian Kun sword. However, the Xian Kun sword consumed too much saint liquid. If this continued, he was afraid that after a few more strikes, he would use up all the saint liquid he had obtained. No, I have to leave now. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He directly stored the cocoon formed by the divine butterfly into the wordless heavenly book, and turned to fly out of Sky Devil Valley. Where do you think you're going? Stay here for me. Ji Yuanlong's eyes flashed with murderous intent, and the purple gold divine spear instantly pierced through the void, piercing towards Ling Xiao. Despicable human, die for me. Bo Jie also roared. Murderous intent surged from his body, and his aura was monstrous. The black demonic saber seemed to be wrapped in a monstrous wave, and it also slashed towards Ling Xiao. Block it for me. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He was prepared to let the 3 silver-ranked warriors block the attack of Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie, and then he would be able to escape successfully. However, before the 3 silver-ranked warriors could make a move, the sky seemed to have lit up at this moment. Boom! It was an incomparably resplendent sword ray that exploded in the void. It seemed to contain an immeasurable amount of light that illuminated the immeasurable world. At the same time, a majestic vitality surged forth and turned into a heavenly river that seemed to separate the heaven and earth, as well as Ji Yuanlong, Bo Jie, and Ling Xiao. Everyone could see that in the dazzling light, a black-clothed figure surrounded by endless sword aura slashed towards Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie. This is the sword of Sage Dao. Ji Yuanlong roared, his eyes filled with disbelief. That sword aura was like an eternal sun that contained exuberant vitality, like the earth in spring, and was about to bury Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie within it. Divine Firmament Dragon King Transformation. Chaotic World Heavenly Demon Art. Ji Yuanlong and Bo Jie both felt a strong sense of danger from this terrifying sword strike. Immediately, they roared crazily and unleashed their most powerful attacks. Purple aura rose around Ji Yuanlong, and lightning filled the air. His entire body transformed into a purple divine dragon, exuding a monstrous divine aura. Lightning filled the sky, and it blasted towards that sword aura. On the other hand, demonic aura surged around Bo Jie. The void behind him trembled, and an incomparably illusory figure appeared. That figure seemed to have come from endless time and space, and it smashed its fist towards that sword aura. Rumble. Dazzling sword aura exploded, as if it was going to destroy all life. The purple divine dragon that Ji Yuanlong had transformed into exploded in an instant, and his entire body flew backwards. He coughed up blood, and his face became extremely pale. On the other hand, Boji was in an even more miserable state. Both of his arms suddenly exploded, and his entire body flew out. This is the Life Sword Tao. Chapter 1341. Amidst the dazzling divine light, a middle-aged man in a black robe strode over. His expression was very calm, and his appearance was very ordinary. However, his eyes were extremely sharp, and they seemed to contain two divine swords that could reach the heavens. They were proud, sharp, dignified, and domineering. He was like the emperor of the sword, and his might dominated the world and suppressed the world. He was surrounded by two opposite sword intents. One was full of vitality and majestic while the other was dark and cold, containing endless destructive and murderous intent. However, the two sword intents formed a perfect balance on his body, making him appear extremely mysterious. They were the Life Sword Tao and the Destruction Sword Tao. The middle-aged man in a black robe was Dugu Qiubai. Ling Xiao was pleasantly surprised. Dugu Qiubai was the second old friend he had met in the divine realm other than Ji Feishuan. Moreover, what shocked Ling Xiao was that Dugu Qiubai's cultivation had reached the complete heavenly god realm. He was only one step away from attaining the divine king realm. This kind of horrifying cultivation speed shocked even Ling Xiao. Senior Dugu has placed his primordial spirit in the longevity grass for hundreds of thousands of years. He has also comprehended the sword of the divine path. I'm afraid he has no bottlenecks before reaching the saint realm. He will be able to break through as long as he has enough resources. But, this kind of cultivation speed is a little too terrifying. Ling Xiao muttered to himself as he smiled bitterly in his heart. It had only been 2 years since they entered the divine realm from the lower realm, but Dugu Qiubai had already broken through from the divine spirit realm to the great circle of the heavenly god realm. This speed was probably unprecedented. Greetings, Sword Saint. The moment Dugu Qiubai appeared, the human experts of the Hero Alliance bowed and greeted him with fanatical admiration in their eyes. Dugu Qiubai was the Sword Saint of the Hero Alliance. Ling Xiao had heard about the Hero Alliance. It was a powerful force that existed in the mythical space. Most of the members of the alliance were abandoned disciples of the various sacred grounds. Some of them were even evil people. They relied on the various opportunities in the mythical space to grow stronger. Even the 12 immortal sacred grounds had failed several times when they wanted to eliminate the Hero Alliance. It was rumored that the leader of the Hero Alliance was a powerful saint. He was extremely powerful and had powerful divine skills. Dugu Qiubai had no lack of resources after becoming the Sword Saint of the Hero Alliance. However, his cultivation speed was still shocking. What was more shocking was his strength. Dugu Qiubai's sword had defeated Bo Jia of the Sky Demon Tribe and Ji Yuanlong of the Great Zhou College. You are the Sword Saint of the Hero Alliance. This is a matter between the Great Zhou College and Ares College. Could it be that you want to interfere? Ji Yuanlong's expression was ugly as he stared at Dugu Qiubai. He was both shocked and furious, and a trace of deep fear appeared in his heart. It must be known that the sword strike just now had contained Saint Wei sword intent. Divine Emperor Dugu Qiu. Divine King, Divine God Emperor, Saint, Divine, 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 the Divine Saint Tao, Saint. Once a Divine Emperor Dugu Qiubai comprehended his own Divine Tao, he would be able to embark on the path of Divine Tao and work towards becoming a legendary Saint. However, it was extremely rare for a divine king to comprehend a divine Tao. Even in the 12 immortal sacred grounds, almost all of them were true disciples. This sword saint was only in the great circle of the heavenly god realm, but he had comprehended his own divine Tao. No wonder he was called the sword saint. He was qualified. However, if Ji Yuanlong knew that Dugu Qiubai had comprehended his own divine Tao when he was in the divine spirit realm, he would be even more shocked. Dugu Qiubai could no longer be described as a prodigy. He was a demon that was hard to come by in a million years. Dugu Qiubai glanced at Ji Yuanlong and said, "Who do you think you are? You joined forces with the demon tribe to deal with your own kind. You are worse than pigs and dogs. Everyone has the right to kill you." Dugu Qiubai's voice was very calm, but it reached everyone's ears in an instant. Everyone was slightly startled and looked at Ji Yuanlong with a strange expression. No matter how the human race fought, they had to work together to fight against the demon tribe. This was the iron law of the human race. Ji Yuanlong's attack on Ling Xiao, whether it was intentional or not, was indeed suspected of joining forces with Bo Jie. Ji Yuanlong's expression changed immediately. If he was really accused of joining forces with the demon tribe, he would not be able to enter the 9 imperial gates in the future. He would probably be captured and interrogated as soon as he returned. He would not even be able to keep his identity as a disciple of the Great Zhou Academy. "Bastard! Don't you dare slander me. I did not join forces with the demon tribe. I was only looking for this brat to take back what was mine." Ji Yuanlong stared at Dugu Qiubai and said coldly. He hated Dugu Qiubai to the core. If he did not feel that he was not a match for Dugu Qiubai, he would have attacked Dugu Qiubai directly. The demon saint's corpse is an ownerless item. Since this friend has it, it naturally belongs to him. How dare you shamelessly say that it belongs to you? Even the demon tribe would have to admit that they are inferior to such shamelessness. All of you, get lost. I will protect this friend of mine. Dugu Qiubai said indifferently. His expression was very calm, and he did not even look at Ji Yuanlong. His tone was as casual as if he was sweeping the dust off his body. He did not care about Ji Yuanlong at all. This kind of disregard caused Ji Yuanlong's face to turn incomparably red. Ling Xiao blinked his eyes as if this was the first time he had met Dugu Qiubai. Not only was this person from the war god realm a natural sword cultivator, he was also very eloquent. With just a few words, he had caused Ji Yuanlong to fly into a rage. Even Ling Xiao felt inferior to him. Ha ha ha. The human race is just like what the ancestors said. They only know how to bully others. No wonder they can only become food for the sacred tribe. You don't have to fight anymore. Today, all of you will die. Bo Jie suddenly laughed loudly, his eyes filled with bloodthirsty killing intent. Boom! Behind him, black demonic light surged, and the void trembled violently. Black runes lit up, and a spatial gate slowly opened. Ancient and evil demonic light spread out, and one figure after another stepped out of the void. There were a total of 3 figures. Each of them had a terrifying aura that shrouded the sky. A pair of blood-red eyes were filled with cold and cruel light. The 3 figures were shrouded in endless demonic light. They were ancient and mysterious. Although their faces could not be seen clearly, the cold killing intent and evil aura caused everyone's expression to change greatly. Chapter 1342. Not good. There are 3 demon god kings. We're done for. Damn it. This was originally a trap set by the demon race. It's natural for the demon god kings to arrive so quickly. What should we do? Let's hope that the seniors in the ancient city can sense the situation here and rush over in time. Looking at the 3 demon god kings before them, the faces of the human experts changed drastically. Each and every one of them revealed an incomparably terrified expression. The auras of these 3 demon god kings were incomparably terrifying. They covered the sky and covered the earth as they pressed down on the crowd. They were cold and evil. Some of the human experts with lower cultivation levels even felt their legs go soft. They had an impulse to kneel down. Ji Yuanlong's face changed as well. He even forgot about his argument with Dugu Qiubai. His gaze was incomparably solemn. He could sense that the 3 demon god kings before him were not ordinary divine king experts. Their true battle strength was probably equivalent to the strength of a late divine king. Such demon god kings were not something that Ji Yuanlong could deal with. Even if he could barely hold on, he would still be defeated after a long time. Another 3 experts from the heavenly devil race? Looks like Bo Jie's status is not low. I wonder what's his relationship with demon god King Bo Sun. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered. When Bo Jie used the chaotic heavenly demon technique, he had already thought of the relationship between Bo Jie and demon god King Bo Sun. The demon god King Bo Sun's strength had left an extremely deep impression on Ling Xiao. In Ling Xiao's opinion, the 3 demon god kings before him were not as strong as Bo Sun. My 3 uncles, kill all the humans. Capture that human brat alive. The old ancestor's corpse is with him. He also has a divine bug on him. That divine bug killed my world-etching bug. Boji looked at the many human race experts in front of him and said coldly. When he saw Ling Xiao, his eyes were filled with unforgettable hatred. It was because of Ling Xiao that the world-etching bug he had been planning for a long time had been destroyed. His hatred for Ling Xiao was greater than anyone else's. Young master, don't worry. They will all die. The demon god king in the middle said indifferently. His voice was like divine thunder that shook the void. Rumble. The 3 demon god kings instantly took action. 2 demon god kings charged towards the human experts while another demon god king grabbed at Ling Xiao, trying to capture him. Clang! At this moment, a dazzling sword light cut through the darkness, containing boundless light. Dugu Qiubai made his move. An extremely ordinary-looking sword appeared in his hand. He radiated with boundless light as strands of sword chi converged into a resplendent streak of sword chi, slashing towards the demon god king who was charging towards Ling Xiao. What? The demon god king's eyes also shook, revealing a look of disbelief. Obviously, he had also noticed the terrifying sword intent hidden in Dugu Qiubai's sword. It was the aura of a Saint Path sword. The golden light was sharp and indestructible, and it made him feel a sense of danger. Clang! Suddenly, his palm turned into a fist, and black scales appeared on his arm. Mysterious runes circled around his arm as he slammed it towards Dugu Qiubai. The sword light was extremely bright and finally exploded on the demon god king's arm, shattering a few of the scales and causing a trace of blood to flow out. Human ant, how dare you injure me? You are courting death. The demon god king's eyes flashed with killing intent. The demonic light around him dissipated, revealing his true appearance. It was a figure that was more than 10 feet tall. Although he looked similar to a human, he was covered in black scales and had a long tail behind him. This demon god king was not a pure sky demon tribe member. His bloodline was not pure, so he could only be considered as Bo Jie's subordinate. However, his attack was extremely powerful. A resplendent black lightning ball formed in front of him and shot towards Dugu Qiubai. The ball of lightning contained a dense destructive power, which was terrifying to the extreme. Break! Dugu Qiubai's eyes flashed as he uttered a single word. In the next moment, the sword light around him seemed to be dyed pitch black, and it was instantly enveloped by a layer of destructive light. He slashed his sword forward and directly slashed the black ball of lightning into pieces. The terrifying destructive force was devoured by Dugu Qiubai's sword. The sword light expanded and slashed towards the demon god king's head at an even faster speed. The speed of this sword was too fast. Destructive sword Dao. Even the demon god king only managed to move his body slightly. He was unable to dodge the attack completely. Therefore, one of his arms was chopped off by Dugu Qiubai's sword. Ah! Bastard, I'm going to kill you. The demon god king was completely enraged. A mere human in the great realm of the heavenly god realm had chopped off one of his arms. He could not tolerate this at all. He immediately charged forward and attacked Dugu Qiubai in a frenzy. On the other side, the 2 demon god kings were also blocked by Ji Yuanlong, Qingyan, and the rest. However, there was still a giant black snake demonic beast that was eyeing them covetously. Many of the human experts had suffered heavy casualties. Bo Jie had even broken free from the encirclement of the 3 silver-ranked warriors. His eyes were burning with killing intent as he charged towards Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. Just as he was about to draw out the Xian Kun sword and give Bo Jia a stab, Kacha. Dazzling light shone in the void as golden runes formed a void gate. 3 powerful figures appeared in the sky above the heavenly Devil Valley in an instant. Another 3 godly king realm experts had arrived. However, when everyone saw the 3 figures, their eyes were filled with excitement. That was because the 3 figures were the godly king experts from Ares College, Imperial College, and Great Zhou College who were stationed in Ancient City. Demon bastards, I've been waiting for you for a long time. Since you're here, then stay here. The godly king expert from Ares College was a middle-aged burly man with a head full of red hair. His dark golden skin looked like it was made of metal. His entire body exuded a wild and unruly aura. He laughed loudly as his gaze was extremely sharp. He threw a punch towards a demon god king. The Imperial College's godly king expert was a young woman with an arrogant and cold aura. The Great Zhou College's godly king expert was a middle-aged man in a black dragon robe. The 2 of them also charged towards the demon god kings. With the addition of the 3 godly king experts, the human race's morale was greatly boosted. What? They're here so quickly. Bo Jie's eyes revealed a trace of shock. His expression was extremely ugly. With the addition of the 3 godly king experts, he instantly felt that something was amiss. He felt as though he had been schemed against and a trace of retreating appeared in his heart.